First of all, we pressed record right before the first one, so thank God. Second of all, shout out to Hamza. He's here. The GOAT, Snapshot. We're going to go right into it. Because you graduated. Let's give
him a round of applause.
You graduated. Round of applause.
Yes, I did.
And so it is straight into How does it feel being a high value man?
Bring your mic closer.
I want to ask my man, how does it feel being a high value man?
I don't believe in a high value man.
You don't believe in it?
No. Because I don't know what it means.
The thing is, I feel like once a man becomes high value, inherently in himself, he dismisses that. Therefore, a lot of non-high value men take the characteristics of trying to be.
It's amazing how he described that after I said that.
Yeah, and I can't contribute to this conversation because I'm not a high value man. So
it's a subject to subject to change, man. I know that's a bad quote. It's a fluid statement.
It's a what was the thing you told me?
Non-Newtonian fluid.
It's a non-Newtonian fluid.
Cornstarch.
I don't know what they say, but welcome back to
you know what I'm saying? I be retaining shit. You know what I'm saying? In like 10 years, Hamza's gonna be like, yo, what is this fluid? I'm like, my brother, that's a non-Newtonian fluid.
Cornstarch.
Come on now.
Yeah. All right, what's up? Talk to me. What's up?
First of all, I have to give you a proper introduction.
Yes. Okay.
You're a GOAT.
Big GOAT.
You've been on this podcast. I believe this is your third time.
Third time.
Really? No, it's the second time.
It's the third time.
Because we recorded it one time.
With Holland and them.
And
he was on.
Were you on with us on Sincerely Honest?
Yeah, that was the first time, yeah.
Okay, this is the second time on Ghost Talk. Third time I've been on a podcast with you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're probably one of the most precise, calculated individuals I've ever met.
Tenacious.
And in a space where you don't expect it, which is the creative side. Because you don't get a lot of calculated individuals in the creative side. In a sense of I'm
from in where like the
in the Somali community.
Okay, there you go.
Because I feel like Kanye and Autumn had a very calculated method in getting big.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the show? I did watch it.
You watched the documentary?
Did you watch that? That's a pretty good documentary.
Let's talk about the documentary.
Pretty good documentary. But thank you for the kind words, man.
You're a
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
How you feel now? What have you noticed that's different about Minnesota and Ohio? I wanted to ask you.
Minnesota has a lot of distractions.
I thought you was about to say Minnesota is the best, but
yeah, Minnesota has a lot of distractions. But it's distractions that you can control.
Basically,
like
he's saying there's a lot of beautiful ladies here in Minnesota. and
his Instagram is Snapshot Hamza.
Yeah.
No, in terms of first of all, shout out to these guys for curating the space.
Yes,
shout out
sir.
to my guy Thunder.
Yeah, they're
and shout out to my guy. What was your? Sorry, I forgot. I have a very terrible memory. Hanad is running the audio. And before I do anything, actually, let me give a quick rundown of what's happening, guys. This podcast, for the podcast like this to happen in terms of visuals, a lot of things have to happen. So we have 3 cameras running. 1, 2, 3 for Hamza. Each person has his own camera. There's a 3 light setup going on.
This nigga studied our space.
Okay. Now there's a 3 light setup going on. There's a 3 individual mics on every person. So the editor has to match the audio and the video together. They come in different tracks. When you're recording every 30 minutes, you get a new track. So you're doing a different multicam sequence. I just want to let the consumers appreciate the type of work you guys are doing.
Yo, first of all, this nigga's gonna find a raise. They're gonna ask for a raise, bro.
Ma's at home like, tell him again, nigga. Fuck, I be doing this shit by myself. Thunder sitting over there like, I'm saying, gang, this shit hard.
Bro, first of all, Thunder, I love you. Mahad, I love you. Hanad
is running the audio.
But listen. First of all, we ain't gonna make no money, okay? Because how you said that, right, came from a context of like, yo, y'all niggas need to ask for money, right? Y'all niggas need to ask for some shit.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we not there yet, okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So if you could tell these niggas that, yo, it's a struggle with the finance. First of all, podcast finances, how does that go?
So the thing is, like, with Orta, what you guys are doing is a media platform, right? So it's a different. Let's go back in time, right? So let's explain what media is. Media is like you're showcasing something. You're providing a value to people that want to watch you. For example, back today, it used to be, until today, is news. News has always been, you're providing information so your public knows what's going on. Now, times have changed. What I would say the first form of media is written. This for the first time in our lives, right? The spoken word is close to or equal to as the written word. The written word has always been supreme. You study books, You study, right? Quran, you read your Qurans.
Yeah.
You study your text and stuff like that. For the first time, now that we have actual stuff that is recording you, the spoken word is coming in terms of value close to that. Now I can go watch a lecture rather than read about it. I can watch a PowerPoint rather than write about it. All that stuff. So now what you guys are doing is you guys are breaking a cycle. The cycle is for me to have a conversation and hear about a conversation, it had to happen through a corporation. Now you guys are breaking that space. Now if I want to see a dialogue between Muhammad and Hamza, I can just go straight to Muhammad and Hamza's page and watch it. So you guys are helping break that third barrier. That's what you're doing. And in finances, it's like a lot of businesses are out there. They want to promote their things, but they don't know necessarily how to promote it, which can become a business of its own. You go to people, promote their businesses individually by showcasing your value in terms of your recording ability, your promoting ability. But with a podcast, you have monthly listeners. So let's say you have 2,000 listeners a month. Based on that, you go to a client, you say, yo, I have these amount of listeners. Let me promote your business for 30 seconds. I give you a slot. It's like Super Bowl commercials. They say for 30 seconds, I sell you this amount of dollars. And that's what the value of a podcast has. Does that make sense?
See, when I said calculated, I very much so meant calculated.
Yeah.
Do you just take that with everything in life? Like, do you break down?
You have to, bro. Because for you to do things that you want to do, the main reason that I have this mentality is, like in my creative space, if I want to do something, I have to go through A, B, C, D. So I have to know what I'm doing.
What is your creative space? What do you do? Let folks know.
All right, so
you're a construction worker.
Yeah, I build sets, bro.
He's a construction worker. Like he was showing us earlier how to use tape properly. He's talking about beams and shit. This beam. He's talking about you need a 4x6 plywood.
But
why are you a set builder though?
Okay, so first. All right, let me tell like what I do. So what I do is like I create stuff. Like I create content in terms of like, first of all, it's a selfish thing. I create for myself. I create to satisfy Hamza. And if the public sees it, yes, for sure, go enjoy. If not, it's okay. If you hate it, you hate it. Whatever it is. But for you to create something, you have to see things as a matter of fact. When I say as a matter of fact is, if I see somebody is shooting a commercial for a water bottle, that means he's done it. He's successful at it. I understand, okay, this thing has a 2-light system on it.
Has a what?
Like for example, for commercials, like I'm just giving an example. It has 2-light system on it. It has a green background. So I have to go get a green backdrop, 2-light system on it. It's a matter of fact. It's nothing. It's not as big as it seems. It's like you have to see things from that perspective. If I'm recording a set in a barbershop, I know for a barbershop I need a space. I need chairs. I need a mirror. I need lighting. I need mats. I need sinks. I need desks. I need chairs for people to sit in. I need magazines. I need a coat hanger. I need the barbershop cuts, all that stuff. That's a matter of fact. You have to see things from that perspective. And you have to do that with all your creative things that you're doing because you're trying to produce something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically he's a filmmaker, guys. He makes movies and
I'm
stuff.
a cinephile. I love films, bro. I want to say like, alhamdulillah, I discovered what I like to do.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I love doing what I do. Is it frustrating at times? 80% of the time it's frustrating. But the payoff is like the instant gratification. You see what you did is like, wow. I take photos and I edit them. I think you do a disservice to yourself if you take a photo and produce it out how it is. I'm not saying you can't do it. There's a lot of people that make money out of it. They're actually professional photographers.
National Geographic. Did you talk about it?
Yeah.
Like there's certain places where it's frowned upon if you do anything post.
Because you don't need to. If I go outside and go on a mountain range, take a photo of a mountain, what more could you do to that mountain, bro? God is the greatest artist of all. That's why I don't take photos of landscape, nor do I do of architecture. I don't. I think those type of spaces are meant to be consumed while you're there. If I'm going to see in a sunset, I might take one for my IG story, but that's just like at the moment. Most of the time actually captivated by that. Like God is the greatest artist. When I say that, bro, like I really mean it. I want you to understand like the core values of art actually come from nature. If you look about it, what Photoshop does is, for example, this is the photo aspect of what I do, right? Photoshop has something called the color gradient. So gradient is what shift, for example, the sunset. The sunset shifts from deep blue to deep red. And it happens gradually, right in front of your eyes. That's a gradient. It has been like that for how long? But we try to incorporate that into our day-to-day aspects, right? When you're painting something or when you're wearing specific clothes, you want to have that gradient and stuff like that. But it already happens on a day-to-day basis because God is the greatest artist. Like you look at any tones of any color right now. Right now, the things that are popping the most in terms of colors of clothing or architecture, anything, is neutral tones. Where do neutral tones come from? It's nature. The Yeezy tones, the greens are from your grasses. The browns are from the dirt or the stones, right? The chai color are actually from the sand. It's everything is literally based on earth. So people are just remixing what God made.
He said,
yo,
that's facts.
Yeah.
That's wild. I didn't even think. Do you think when in their own creative, like when Yeezy was making those shoes, right?
He literally verbatim said,
he looked at nature and said,
yes. He said the Yeezy tones are in Wyoming. I swear to God, verbatim, that's what Kanye said. Because God is the greatest artist. One of the things, like for example, in Jannah, right?
Yeah.
In Jannah, it says there are things. I do not want to quote this because I don't have the hadith and I don't want people to misquote me. So if I'm wrong, correct me. Because when it comes to hadith, you have to be prepared and have your chains and stuff like that. But in Jannah, according to hadith, there's things that your eyes have never seen, your ears have never heard of, your heart has never imagined or felt, feelings that you've never felt. It's actually in Jannah. Colors that you've never seen before are there. Think about it, right? There's, oh my God, how does that verified? But that shows you that you have a cap on your imagination, that you think you know everything, right? That's like, how can you even fathom that? Those are the things I want to see, man.
Yo, that give me chills.
Huh? Yeah.
It's the idea that yo, you think you've seen everything,
but you haven't.
And the idea that yo, you can. There's so much that we haven't created.
You think
yet.
you don't even know if you don't even know you haven't seen shit yet.
Yeah.
It's like all we've known throughout our lives is like a drop. And
Yeah.
everything else is like an ocean.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how much we
have not. Exactly. But okay, so let me ask you guys a question, right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
He's asking us questions.
Yeah. But before I go to the question, I have ideas that I'm gonna be forgetting. I have a very bad short-term memory.
Hey,
terrible. Oh, yeah, before I ask the question, actually. Oh yeah. So in terms of photography, that's what I do. I'm more fascinated into portraits, meaning I take photos of people, then I incorporate editing around them. If I take a photo of you in a blank canvas, I put a collage system behind you. If you're outside, I put a bike behind you that wasn't necessarily there, but it adds character to the thing. Maybe there's no bikes there, but I think editing is I like to do editing because it makes me think. It makes me do research on specific things. It makes me understand colors. It makes me understand lighting, so I can actually incorporate the lighting into my filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
That's photos. It's the most enjoyable thing I do is photo editing.
Have you ever met someone that passionate about the same thing before?
No, I have not. Not yet. Maybe they're out there, but I have not reached out. That's the problem. I've not reached out to people because it's I'm already so fascinated. I don't even have time to be who's doing it? Yeah, exactly. So
I don't know. I feel like the best conversations come from when two people that think they're crazy in the craft somehow, some way meet.
Mm-hmm.
And
that would be amazing.
Talk about how they're both crazy at this craft, and it's that's weird.
Yeah.
And then the craziness sort of goes away, and then it's this thing that reinforces how crazy you were.
Yeah.
So then it helps you go 10 times faster or 10 times harder.
Yeah. And it's
because crazy is just another word for not normal. You're not the status quo. So when you meet someone else who makes you feel normal,
you're wait a minute.
Like you said, the crazy kind of goes away.
Exactly. But one of the things I really like doing what I do, for example, there's no cap to it. There's no limits to it. And there's no measuring sticks to it. It's how you see it. And one of the best things is bro, your mind. Okay, so I have a million ideas, bro. Okay. We're going to be here for a while today, bro.
Yo, just get ready for it.
I can just tell we're going to be here for a while. One of the things that really fascinates me, bro, is, for example, it's where do you take your attention to? The necessities that you have to take care of, meaning your food and your school.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
Not food, sorry. Work and school.
Yeah.
Those are things that take up most of people's times, education and work, right? And then comes your 8 hours of sleep and all that stuff. And then understand one thing, bro, you're on earth for one reason. That reason you're on earth is to worship God. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally your reason. But God understands, you're not going to worship me with an empty stomach. So go find risk. But when you're finding risk, you're getting ajr for that. You're actually being rewarded for working.
Yeah, it's an act of worship.
Exactly. Actually, it's ibadah, right? When you put your 4 hours to your time of religious activities and podcast, you have another 4 hours in that time. In that time is where I think is like the difference between the greats and the averages are made. Those 4 hours, your mind will wander. Your mind is very smart. Okay, one of the things is like your body is built to always increase in something. If you go to the gym, your muscles increase. If you study, your brain capacity gets better.
Yeah.
If you focus on something, your attention span gets better. So that's the thing, is like you're made to progress. Literally, your life is progression at all times. So if that's the case, my question is, I've asked this myself. This question is like, in that span, where can I take my attention to? Because it's the most valuable thing that I have is my time and my attention. That's where it comes to the creativity thing. I would never conquer what I'm doing, and that's why I like doing what I'm doing.
So you put your time to something that you will never conquer, and in retrospect, that kind of inevitably advances you, because like you will never get to the point where you're done with it. So you're just always working, like you said, always focusing, always getting better.
The payoff is the gratification, bro. Why do you do something? You need a payoff at the end, whether it be money, whether it be fame, whether it be adulation. What is making you do the specific thing? The thing that I'd like to do is like I gain information and knowledge, and when I'm doing something I had no clue about it. I had no clue about construction or building sets. But the only core reason I learned how to do that is because I'm actually doing film. I need to learn how to do this. So now that's a skill that I have. I'm not saying I'm the best constructor. I'm like one of the worst. But I would never even touch the field if I didn't care about it.
Yeah.
So that's in that information. And that's when you become obsessed with your craft, bro. You have to be so obsessed with what you're doing, because the obsession leads to progression.
Yeah. You know what's kind of, being an actor is kind of almost, you're kind of hindered by that though, because you don't get to create your own stories. You're acting as someone else's story.
Yes.
Right? So like, if your goal is to progress and always get better, all you're ever doing is waiting for someone to write another story that pushes your limits. Because look at, and you're waiting to be casted in that as well. Because look at Tom Cruise. You know, Tom Cruise has like a gang of licenses. The nigga has a driver's license. He has a stunt driving license. He has his piloting license, real estate license, unnecessary ass licenses. The nigga went to Japan and like studied actually being a samurai for like 7 months for The Last Samurai. He does all these different kind of stuff, but that progresses him as a human being. At the end of the day, the product of that is someone who can speak multiple languages, can drive multiple vehicles, has a set of skills, and the byproduct of that is because he's been able to like act in all these different kind of things. Right? Yeah. What's the guy who was like the crazy method actor? He was in Lincoln. He was in Gangsters of New York.
George DayLewis or something like that.
Yeah, Daniel DayLewis.
Daniel DayLewis
is such a method actor.
Yeah.
There was a movie where he was playing like a shoemaker, and he went to Italy, and he apprenticed under a shoemaker. As an actor, again, you're pushing your limits. You're trying to learn all these things, and the reason you're trying to learn all these things. Oh, okay. The reason you're trying to learn all these things is so you can get better at your craft. You know what the nigga did after he got done with the movie? He quit acting. He was a shoemaker for like 2 years. Daniel DayLewis. He's like, this is what I want to do. I like making shoes. And he continued doing that.
Because it just adds character to you, bro.
It does, but at the same time, it sucks. Because when I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor. And the reason I wanted to be an actor is because I wanted to be too many things. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a cowboy. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be everything. I thought everything was cool. I was like, damn, well, doctors, they get to cut people open. That's just fire. I want to do that. Astronauts get into outer space. I want to do that. When you're an actor, you get to be all those things. You actually 100%. Get to be all those things. Like niggas that play in westerns, they actually get like horseback riding training. They learn how to like fucking shoot guns, do all that cool shit. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like filmmaking is the ultimate.
It's the ultimate form of art.
It's the ultimate form of art because you're the origin of it at the end of the day. You're not a reflection of anything.
But you said that the actor, is limited by what opportunities are brought to him by the script or the story, right?
Absolutely.
But is that, let's just like do you think a great actor can be as great of as a writer as one of the greatest writers, or is everyone in their own lane, right?
You can do both, bro.
No, you can do both. You can do both. But the problem is, for example, Tarantino didn't have to get casted for anything. He sat in a room, he wrote the story down, he went out, he casted a bunch of other niggas that were extremely talented, and he got. But would Denzel be considered the GOAT if he didn't get opportunities like American Gangster, Training Day? If he was just still stuck in Queens doing, or wherever he's from, doing, theater and stuff like that, he would still be an amazing actor, an incredible actor, but he wouldn't be considered a GOAT.
Yeah, the opportunity.
Think of how many opportunities Leonardo DiCaprio.
He gets first call, first
Shutter
dibs.
Island.
Imagine what that man has turned down.
Yeah. Imagine what Tom Cruise turned out in the role of Iron Man. That's fucked.
Of what?
Iron Man. He said he didn't want to do Iron Man. Think about that.
Bro, thank God Tony Stark got it.
Yeah,
I know he was perfect.
Can we talk about how there's like, bro, that's one thing I feel like people don't talk about either in acting. Like, I appreciate great actors that can play many roles. But there's something about certain actors when they just portray a role, like portray that specific role
so
to
good.
a T, where it's just like, nigga, you
are that person.
Yeah, you're Iron Man, bro.
Yeah.
You're Tony Stark.
Like, when you look at them,
do you ever want to be like that, or are you guys afraid of that because then you're pigeonholed to like certain
No,
things?
you wish you want to be pigeonholed to that.
I want that. What did I say earlier? I said, yo, if I can get a role where I can play someone like Monk or House, or like
synonymous with that thing,
like a specific
Ghost.
person, and I'm that person, and I get like 8 seasons, and that's my job. I come in every day, I perfect something. I'd rather do that than be hunting for the next role.
Bro.
Yeah,
because filmmaking is the ultimate form of art, bro.
Why do you say that?
Okay, I think I've explained this in the last episode, which I lost.
What do they say? It's the queen of it's the queen of art. That's what they call filmmaking, right? Because it connects
everything together.
Yeah, it connects sound like you explain it.
So there's different.
It's gonna sound way better if you just do this.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I just want to say, Alhamdulillah, you're right. I get to do what I like to do.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a different feeling because there's no instant payoff that I'm seeing anytime soon.
Yeah.
Stitch back. Oh, this is pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
I do it again. Filmmaking is the ultimate form of art for the reason is because it brings different forms of art under one house. It brings great acting under one house, great music production under one house. It brings great writing under one house. It brings great directing under one house, and it brings great set designs, great fashion ideas like fashionistas and stuff like that.
Visuals.
Fashion designers into one house to produce one project. 8 to 9 masters of their craft to come produce one thing for you to see. And when it happens, when all of them are taken at the highest possible level and they're working at its best ability, you get a feeling that no other other forms of art can give you. In my opinion, one thing that does that is The Good, the Bad, and Ugly by Sergio Leone. The last 10 films with the guns of Navarro, all 3 of them are pointing the guns at each other. The Good, the Bad, and Ugly character are literally pointing the guns at each other. Directing, Ennio Morricone's composing, Sergio Leone's directing, Clint Eastwood, Angel Eyes, and the other guy acting, coming in together. The set design, the fashion design, clothing they're wearing, everything. It comes together. You get a different feeling. I forgot to breathe in that scene because it's that well done. Now, what's better about it is somebody had that idea, woke up and he wrote it, and he literally, the thing that he was thinking, he put it to life. Yeah. There's a different feeling when you have something, your idea, you actually bring it to life so other people can see it. It's a different feeling. It's unmatched.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I wish I looked at movies in the same way. Like, I'm like the average dude. I got a popcorn.
Yeah.
Was there some funny lines? Did they punch? Was there explosions? Right. But seeing how you talk about like a bunch of people work together and like creating something.
Yeah.
Well, I could take it to like applications and like my nerdy self.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you're like, yo, you need the best this to do this, and you need a fashionista that dresses every person to par, and like seeing that display is like, oh shit. For me, when I look at applications, like I'm a nerd. Like, I'll look at something built, like a MacBook. I'm not gonna lie to you, I be in awe of it sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, there was some guy like that sat down at a board and was like, yo, forget this. The I/O is gonna look like this, and this application is gonna do this. And like thinking about like, yo, there had to be a back end nigga that had to do this. There had to be a front end dude. There had to be, and it's like poetry in motion. So like the idea that like I always used to, again, we had the conversation like feeling weird because like we get really nerdy into the things that we like, right?
Yeah.
But like we never have that like confirmation from someone else. Well, you do sometimes, and it's amazing where you sit down with another person. It's like, damn, like you looked at the shadow behind the character, and you think that was ill intent by the director. That's crazy. Why do you think they covered had their face? Oh, because it is. Like stuff like that is crazy.
And another thing that I really like about directing specifically is directing is a multifaceted job, right? Meaning like you have to focus on different things. What is that one? I think I see
like
that.
The orchestra, like you're playing a bunch of things at the same time, and if one drummer is offbeat by a little bit, the whole production can be off. Oh, that was a bad movie because the scripting was terrible.
Yeah, but the director has to, like, for example, you have to understand lighting to a point you want to portray a specific mood in a film set, and you want your actors to portray a specific mood in their acting, and you have to bring that together, and you're coordinating that with your DP, you're coordinating that with your light guy, you're coordinating that with your sound guy, and it's just like, when it comes to life, bro, it's like, I think, in my opinion, is the best form of art.
Do you like when you're on set? Like have you ever directed a film before?
I'm doing right now, actually. I'm in production with one right now.
And you've done the scenes already, right?
I've done with set building. I'm doing rehearsals right now. Yeah.
I want to ask you when, inshallah, the next time you're
yeah,
back, where you're in that chair and you click action and everything is moving, that feeling that you have. Like I would definitely want to ask you.
I think I can already feel that feeling because it's there's different types of directors. A director that watches things from a screen, and there's a director that's in front of the actor. I'll probably be the guy that's in front of the actor. Right there. Because it's as if that actor is going to be performing for you. He's going to showcase his best work because you're right there. Like, for example, one of the things that Nolan does that I find very fascinating, Nolan only shoots in primes. Let me explain what primes are. Lenses come in 3 different categories, okay? Camera Basics 101. A camera and a lens. A camera is the brain. The lens is the eye. If you close your eye, you can't see anything. That's akin to not having a lens, okay? Lenses break down to 3 categories. Primes, telephoto, zoom. Primes means it's a fixed focal length, okay? A 50, you can zoom in or out, it's only 50. The only thing that changes is the aperture of it, the blurriness and the light that comes in. A zoom, self-explanatory, it's a zoom. More of the 70 millimeters. I'll explain the millimeter aspect in a second. Now you have telephoto. Telephoto is not a zoom and it's not a wide camera. It's in between. It's that nice 20/40/70. Now, what are these numbers that I've speeded out? If you go like this today, you close one eye, right? You close one eye, focus only on one thing. That's 50 millimeter focal length, what you just see right now. It's 50 mil.
Oh, that's just
okay?
Blurry.
If you take this out, it's not 100 millimeters, okay? So that means, so now we have a base for where a millimeter stand for. Yeah. The smaller the number, meaning let's say 24, 14, or 10, which is drastic, the wider the thing is, so you're seeing a lot more wider stuff. The higher the number, 200, 300, 600, the most zoomed in that thing is, okay? Now that we know basic cameras 101, Nolan only shoots in primes, meaning he doesn't zoom in and out. For him to come and get a close-up shot, he has to move his whole camera setup, brings it right here for you to talk. And they ask the question, why does he do that? He says the actor is more aware. As opposed to, I can have the set like 10 feet back, put on a zoom lens on it, and zoom in on it. You could have the same.
So wait, why does it matter if the actor is more aware?
Because you want to get the best performance from the actor.
Wouldn't they be more nervous?
No, they will actually when you're a pro, bro, that's nothing.
Yeah, they're not worried about nerves. When you're Leonardo DiCaprio, they shouldn't be nervous, bro.
You don't even see the camera to that point. You don't see it at all. You just see a piece of metal in front of you. Well, that's what it is.
Not even nerves. Like honestly, I'm less nervous when I'm in front of a camera than acting on a stage.
Yeah.
In front of a camera,
the stage is terrifying.
Yeah, the stage is harder.
Theater is different.
Yeah.
When you're in front of a camera, you have jitters. You fuck up once, you fuck up twice. By the 3rd time, you don't even see the camera.
Yeah.
You're so focused on like being there. And like as an actor, I always tell people like, don't act, be. Like actually do it.
Yeah.
If you're angry, actually be angry. Get angry. Think about something that pisses you the fuck off and start yelling. If you're sad, get sad. So I get it. And what I thought though the answer was because isn't that like how our eyes see? Our eyes are basically prime lenses.
Yeah. So yeah, our eyes are prime. But that's so. by working with the lenses, I start to appreciate my eyes more. Meaning, so I'll give you like little things that you guys probably don't take for granted, but it's a big deal. The only way I would have known this again is by doing what I'm doing, right? Mm-hmm. If you move your head today like fast like this, go like that.
It's the frames per second.
Not even frames per second. Your eyes are stable.
Yeah. Hey, yo, first of all, shout out to this nigga. Hey, yo, you just threw that out wild. Like.
No, because the frames so per second.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
You're not lying.
The higher the frames per second, when the camera moves, it looks like it's lagging.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the frame rate have to match the frame per second. So for example, if you do this today with your eyes, right? Your head. Take your head and go like this. Your eyes are stable. You peep that? Your eyes are not shaking.
Yeah, you're not lying.
Okay, now go like this.
Oh yeah, they're bouncing around.
They're not bouncing around. Your head is bouncing, but your eyes are stable. If you focus on
his eyes don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, my shit started bouncing around.
For example, like focus on that light right there, bro, and now move your head like this. Is it stable?
It's on it.
It's on it, right? Okay. Now I want you to understand that stabilization.
I'm fucking dizzy.
Industries.
Yo, Mahad just got so many clips right now.
Mahad got us going. Looking like Ray Charles in his bitch.
Bro, industries pay top-notch money to stabilize a camera. Your eyes do that naturally. If you're running today, your eyes are stable. People pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get a gimbal so they can stabilize the camera. Second thing that you take your eyes for granted. Focus on this camera, now focus on that table. How is your focus in media, right?
Yeah,
a lens hunts. A lens is gonna go pew 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 pew, but your eye does that immediately. Go to a dark room and come into a bright room. You might have like instant, like your eyes might not be 100% like terms of like
it burns. It's like that little.
But that's if you're in that room for a while, right? If you're in that room for a while, but if you put you in a dark room and I take you out, your eyes are instantly focused. Yeah. A camera, for you to do that, you have to change your frame rate, you have to change your ISO, you have to change your shutter speed, because that specific thing that you're doing has different setting lightings to the outside, but your eyes do that naturally. And somebody tells me God doesn't exist, right? Another thing, Akushaka, that you find very interesting is your ability to see colors at a consistent rate at all times. If you're 30, like if you're healthy, I show you green, the same green, and I show it to you 30 years later, that green is the same way you saw it 30 years prior. But a camera changes, the updates, the color graphics are different. I mean, the graphic colors are different. Its color size is different, but your eyes are able to maintain that specific thing. That's why when you see something, that's why films change, right? Films are not really the same.
I can't watch, y'all gonna hate this, I can't watch old films.
You can't watch, exactly, you can, because technology has gotten better.
Yeah, I just can't look
because you've gotten better quality. But that's something your eyes does naturally. That's like one of the blessings. I'm like, wow, this is really dope. Yeah. But it's like I would have never understood the appreciation. It's like when they said, if you were to count all the blessings that God have given you, would have never be able to count it. Yeah. But think about it, that's something I'm doing.
It's immeasurable.
Yeah, that's just the eye. That's just the eye. But I didn't even touch anything else. It's amazing. And then once you understand that, you incorporate to your craft, is like, wow, this is really dope. Like, for example, your hearing abilities. Filmmaking is all about audio and visuals. Audio, they did a research, bro, that I found very fascinating. They took a group of people, they showed them a film, amazing quality, terrible audio. They did the same thing, but they reversed it. Terrible video, but the audio was so crispy, amazing. They asked the people that had the bad audio, they said, I hated the film. They asked people with the good audio, they said, that's a pretty dope film. Very few people talk about the quality of the video, because your eye sees something, but your ear confirms it. That's why when you hear boom, you hear like you look at it, and then you want to hear like, oh, is it from this area?
Yeah, to confirm what you want to see, what your ears confirm.
You start looking around while you start.
Yeah. We hear it's like you look at it, you wait for confirmation. It's definitely right there. Yeah. That's why your ears are like a satellite type of thing. They direct, listen to something. If not, we would not be having these like bowl shaped figures. Yeah. We wouldn't. And somebody tells me God doesn't exist, bro. Wow. The intricate details. Why does this
sound like a poem?
Yeah.
Like this sound like a poem. I'm not gonna lie.
Because it's like repeating that sort of thing.
Yeah, bro.
And then there's me over here moving my ears.
Yeah.
He's twisted out ear level.
Yeah. Bro, like one of the things that I actually...
Did you know that right before... You know what? Keep going.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
Because mine is a fat tangent. We're probably not going to come back to this at all.
Yeah?
We're probably not gonna come back to this conversation.
Okay.
This is me just being honest. We might as well just finish short.
Okay.
God does not exist poem.
Oh, now God exists. For example,
God does exist, poem.
They tell me God doesn't exist.
Yeah. Another thing that I'll tell you, for example, bro. So now that we've talked about the aspect of God, one thing I want to give kudos to you guys, right? When I say you guys, I want to say poets, right? So again, I want people to appreciate what you guys are doing. I like when things are explained to me in terms of a layman term. Explained to me like as if I've never heard about that thing. But if I don't get explained, I watch and I observe and make my own conclusions. This is a lack of asking the questions to poets, right? When I see you guys perform, bro. So
why does he keep saying you guys? This guy. I wrote rhymes, right?
Yeah.
And then I went on stage. He studied the game. Let's give him his respect.
And give yourself respect too, bro. You too. Kudos to yourself, fam. You're being a little humble.
This nigga flew before I can walk.
Yeah.
and he's not giving himself the kudos.
We'll give him his flowers.
I was in the crowd watching him before I even knew what poetry was. But it's okay. Continue.
But yeah. So one of the things when poets, so I see things, I see life things as a director's perspective. Meaning, if somebody's sad, I don't see the feeling of the sad. I see the person in a room with one lonely lighting in a phone, looking at his phone. That's how I see life. From that perspective, things are clear. So I'm going to do a shift change for the viewers today. When a poet is performing, people see you, stage, lighting, mic. What we're going to do is we're going to give them your perspective of what you see. Okay? Now they're going to appreciate, that's when people appreciate your craft, when you actually explain to them what your craft is. So the perspective of a poet, the person has to show up an hour early to the stage. He has to do sound checks. He has to make sure that the lines are well, that he's memorized the lines, or he's going to read from a phone, that he has to be articulate with what he's saying. Prior to that, he had to understand which specific poem I'm going to be performing for my audience. He goes on stage, but prior to going to the stage, people are watching you. Eyeballs are actually on you. The funny thing is you can't see the eyeballs because there's only one light that's on you. Everybody else is dark.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Now here's the other thing, the caveat. You have a mic in front of you. Now, generally when we speak, we like to make eye contact with people. Contact with something that's, okay, if I'm talking to you, I'm going to talk to you, I'm not going to talk to the couch. But when you're performing, you're hunting. Your eyes are hunting. You're talking, you're performing, but not only are you hunting, because first you can't see. Sometimes you can't see. I'm not saying not all times. But you have to, and then you clock back to yourself like, yeah, I'm performing. So I have to put panache to my words.
Yeah.
And another thing people don't understand is you have to watch your breathing. You don't want to be, you have to watch your breathing patterns.
Cadence and everything, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I want people to appreciate. I even mentioned the words itself that you guys have said. Just the performative arts aspect of it.
I thought you meant what do you guys see? And usually it depends on a poem. If it's funny, it's a bunch of people laughing. If it's sad, it's a bunch of people that just sad.
Yeah. But just the craft itself.
Have you ever, you probably done it before. Do you know when you have that one poem and there's that point in the poem where everyone's been following along and it's just, you say something powerful, you say something that's just hangs on with everyone, where it just gets so quiet in that room where you could feel them feel what you just said.
Yeah.
And it's just, I feel
that shit is dope.
That's an amazing feeling, right?
It's an amazing feeling.
But only, you can never describe that feeling. You have to feel that feeling. You have to be there.
Yeah.
And that's why there's different variations of art. Every one of them delivers a different feeling. And that's so fascinating. And I think the benefactor of it is the creator of the art.
So question, do you start with lighting the person where they're standing, ambiance, shading and all that, and then get to the emotion? Or is it the other way around?
In terms of what? The filming?
Just in general, you see the emotion. Because I'm someone who sees the product of something before the work for it. So I explained to you with my poetry, 9 times out of 10, I write the ending before I write the poem.
That's crazy. The guy literally writes the ending and reverse engineers the whole story.
Yeah, and because for me it's the opposite. I get what you're saying. What you're saying is absolutely right. Yeah. But for me, it's the opposite in the sense that I work in a field where people are going to interpret what you write in their own way, because everybody deals with stuff differently and everybody sees something differently. Somebody might read a poem about something and see something completely different than how Hamza might see it, or how Hamza might see it, or how Thunder might see it. All I know is that there is a path that I want just people to walk. And I want them to walk that path, and I know that them walking that path will at least make them feel something. What they feel is up to them. I can care less, to be honest. But my passion is making people feel some sort of emotion and to think deeply. The reverse engineering thing is, I'm like, okay, bet. So for me to create the path, I have to create an end goal, a castle at the end of the tunnel, right? A light at the end of the tunnel, or land on the other side of a river, or something like that. That's kind of how I envision it. The emotion is here. I find the emotion, and it's usually 1 to 2 lines that I think of. And then I walk backwards until I get to the beginning. So most of my poems is me introducing you into a world, or introducing you. It's an opening scene most of the time. For most poems, it's an opening scene. One of the poems I always perform is Imagine. Imagine a world where worries are blurred, where mixtapes grow on trees and rap battles roam free, where we all got afro puffs and there's no handcuffs and our black beautiful skin is bulletproof. So now you're in this state of like, okay, I'm sitting down, I'm imagining shit. And for the rest of the poem, I'm telling you shit to imagine, right? Whatever happened to the kid who knew for a fact that he can fly on a mat, turn into a cat, fly on a mat, do all that in his backyard, man, whatever happened to that? Just a little kid in his backyard daydreaming, thinking about, I can fly on a mat, I can turn into a cat, I can fight off aliens, I can do all this shit. And then finally it gets to the point of like, oh, okay, bet. The goal of it, what I want you to think of and walk away with this, is that imagination makes who you are. You have to start with imagination. You know, sometimes all I ever want to do is either slit my wrist or raise my fist, and raise my fist, and I take a lot of risks, but I reap the rewards. That's what makes me an activist. And imagination, well, that's what made me this. So those lines is the first lines that I wrote.
Bars. This is different.
Those lines are like the first lines that I wrote. So what I'm asking you is, as a filmmaker, does it start with an emotion, or does it start with the technicalities of stuff, and then that gets you to the emotion?
Okay. Before I answer that question, one bonus thing that you guys have that other crafts don't have is you guys get to see the reaction of your work live.
True.
If you're doing spoken word on Balka.
True.
Which is like one of the few forms of art where you can actually...
And you can also bomb live.
True.
And hang up your cleats in front of everybody.
Yeah, you could.
It's like painting while people watch.
Yeah. To answer your question, it starts with a story. Starts with a story.
Like an idea.
Yeah, an idea. Write the story. Once you write your story, the writer hat has to be on, so no limitations on you. Once that happens, you say, okay, I need this, and this. There's not really emotion any attached to it, but the story aspect of it might be attached to it. If I'm doing a World War II film and I'm writing about it, I have to convey that through the writing of the emotions of my characters that I'm writing.
So are you writing like from the lenses of your characters?
Yeah, Hamza is dead. In that world, if I'm writing a character named Marvin is a 58-year-old guy who is a farmer in the middle of Louisiana, Missouri. I have to talk like Marvin, the guy that's had... one thing is like...
research on them?
You have to do research on it. Like, you have to do research on the verbatim. For one thing, like Tarantino says, Tarantino is my favorite director, by the way. And the reason why I talk about films, by the way, is I like to make films. And I like to consume films. One of the things that I really like about Tarantino, what he says is, you need to master the universe of the story that you're writing. The audience might never know that, but you owe the audience for knowing what they do not know. Meaning, if I'm writing a character of Marvin, whatever, yada, 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 I have to have a backstory Marvin to a point where I can do a prequel or an after show about that specific character because I know him so well. You have to apply that to your universe. So you can't just be like, I'm going to write a character about Marvin and he fulfills the set of the story and that's it. No, you're not doing your job then. Because when you're going to be writing it, you're going to be writing from a perspective of yourself. That cannot happen. The pen has to tell the story, not the writer, but the story itself, essentially. And when that happens is you learn story rules. I did not know this. I wrote scripts. They were terrible. One of the things that I have handicap is the things that I'm doing, I don't have anybody to ask. So I fail miserably. But when I fail miserably, it's a terrible feeling But the better feeling is I know not to do that.
You fell forward.
Yeah. I know that pothole today, I'm not going to touch again. So I wake up tomorrow with the experience of that, and I rewrite it. I have like an editor, but she's brutal. She's brutally honest. Okay? I send my work to her. She brings back 30 pages of notes.
That's a good editor.
She says, why do you have this line? This is taking up space. Take this out. What are you trying to convey?
How often do you push back?
I don't. I used to be like, I used to be so attached to my
bro, this man is just all with smoke, bro. Even how he asked the question, how often do you push back?
Yeah, I want to know.
Do you be pushing back?
Because I'm the complete opposite of him. That's literally, well, I could not do that. If I gave somebody a script and they gave me back 30 notes or something, because the bigger question I was going to ask you is,
my fault.
There's a complete other side to the Tarantino, that sort of storytelling of where you remove yourself. And there's the guys like Wes Anderson, where people, when they watch Wes Anderson films, the director is almost a character in the film. Every film feels like a movie. It feels like a story. It doesn't feel like, you know what I'm saying? He does it on purpose. For example, almost every opening scene is either somebody reading a book. There's another movie where it's three guys and they're writing the story as they're in the movie. It's like, I forgot the name of the movie. It's the three guys they're on a train in India. There's another movie where there's curtains. So at the end of every scene, the curtains open and then close. So he purposely makes it look like, oh shit, okay, the audience knows and is aware that they're watching a movie. This is a movie. This is a story. This is not real life. And also he inserts himself. He inserts his character, the way he acts, the way he talks, into his characters and into the people that he writes. Right? I'm very much like that, and with almost everything, because I'm someone who is itching to tell a story, to tell my own story. Like I don't think I've left that chapter in my life where I'm content with telling my own story. I don't think enough people have heard that yet. So with everything that I do, whether I like it or not, my own identity is going to insert itself in there.
That's like, it happens.
But no more than, because obviously Tarantino inserts his own identity in there too, because you're human. But I'm saying more than it should be. Yeah. So then,
but that's where editor helps out.
Exactly. So then when I give someone to edit and they say, yo, take this line out, and this is a line that I actually heard in real life, that I took from someone else, and that it means something emotionally to me, and I put it in there, they're probably right for me to take it out. It's probably bullshit. But for me, it's going to be like, no, why the fuck should I take that out?
Yeah, but at first I was like that though. At first it's like she doesn't understand the story.
That's why, that's the big thing behind the question of me asking, do you ever push back?
Yeah, so at first I used to push back because it's my story. It's like, this is my baby, man.
Exactly, yeah.
I wrote it, I thought about it, and I sent it out. But I'm a result-based guy. If I see results, I'll fold. I'll say, okay, this is actually progressing this way. So I said, yo, listen to her. First I said, listen to her, let's see what she does. I wrote the script, and a month straight I listened to her. My story got so much better. I took biasness out of the story. The flow was better. The narration of my story better. The character writing was better. My scene awareness was much better because I was actually listening to what she said. But that's that point of view.
It's one of those things where niggas just want to stay away from their family.
So for example, what's it say? Stephen King. It's a joke. I don't know if it's right or not. They say half of the publishing rights goes to Stephen King because the guy sells books. But there's one golden rule Stephen King has. Listen to your editor. One of probably the most commercially successful writers is saying that. Listen to your editor, because your editor is coming from a perspective of no emotions attached, only cares about the progress of your story. That's it. But I want to shift this, like the technical aspects of the filmmaking and stuff. That's what I find very interesting. But what I find even more interesting is the impact of what I do. Right? Because I'm influenced, every single human being. So this is like where my favorite thing in the world other than Hurda is human psychology. I swear to God.
You like Hurda too?
Yeah.
You love Hurda too?
Hurda is my favorite thing in the world. Sleeping.
Shout out to Hurda.
Yeah, because every time I wake up, I have like a million ideas. I'm like, so I need to do this more often.
It's not me, bro. I hate sleep.
Yeah. And then when I sleep, bro, my dreams, alhamdulillah, I don't want this to be ever taken away. So say mashallah, Allah barak, first of all.
Allah barak.
Yeah. I have amazing dreams, bro. Like, I have dreams that I can write.
This podcast better go. My nigga ain't go. His shit for the beaches them for like 8 hours. No more dreams.
Right?
Yeah. What happened, bro?
He's gonna just see black.
I'm really gonna see like
Wait, so are your dreams like they're consistent?
They're consistently good. They get better, actually.
remember them?
No, I'm saying they're consistent as in like it makes sense, like whatever's going on in your dreams.
Yes.
Can
Can
you dream about the same thing? Like
I get chased by a tiger in my kitchen, and my kitchen turns into a jungle. And then I fall down a hole, and then when I fall down the hole, I end up in like the pyramids of Giza, right?
So wait, dreams like this actually happen?
Yeah, my dreams are sporadic. When I say sporadic, and they're terrifying.
I was running on water.
I had a dream where I was Batman.
What I had a dream I was getting hunted by Elmo from Sesame Street.
But you know, Mohammed, guess what the best part of it? You know what the best part of it is? There's no.
Hey, but we got problems. What's going on?
Wallahi, I'm not a fan of sleeping, bro.
I think it's haunted in his sleep.
Okay, I see why now you're saying no, the guy's not gonna be sleeping. Batman either.
Yeah. Either that or it's like hyper realistic and some fucked up shit is happening.
It's trauma.
Yeah, it's like super realistic. Like I feel like I'm actually questioning. I'm like, fuck, am I sleeping or am I awake? I feel like I'm in Inception. Like, what the fuck is this?
Pinch yourself.
And then I wake up and I'm like,
well, why would you not love that? I would love that. No. But the thing is, okay, here's like the aspect of it is a ni'mah. It's a ni'mah for in terms of like, it's like a story. I know where it's going, but I'm here to watch. I'm part of it, and sometimes I get mad for waking up. Like, I wish I could go.
You write your dreams down?
Yeah, no, I don't, because I feel like if I write, I'm thinking I'm gonna be stuck on that one dream. I want new things, new episodes, sahib.
Like, you gotta write it down, man.
No, I don't want to write. I want my dream world to be never affected by what I do in day-to-day life, because my dreams, like some of the stories, I'm like. That's terrible writing, bro. That's terrible writing. I would never direct this.
Bro, how does it feel not having enough time in the day to work on something that you love?
Frustrating, bro. Frustrating. But I do have time, though. I make time for it. Like, if I don't have time in the morning, I probably do like...
But it's the idea that you have like 20 things that you want to do at the same time.
You have the same 24 hours as Elon Musk.
You
have the same 24 hours as Jeff Bezos. What has been
well, but no, they have
you right now. If the nigga comes up to me and says that shit, they get it smacked on street smoke. Don't say that shit to me. Jeff Bezos and me have the same 24 hours?
You don't. There's access and resources. But, yeah. But second thing that I'm fascinated about is human psychology. How humans think, how humans act. That's isn't
that what directing is, though?
Yeah, exactly.
The essence of that
that's literally the essence of it. It's something that I truly find fascinating. So I do research on my free time. When people are like, "Oh, usually on TikTok, wallahi, I'm reading articles." I'm like, "No way, bro. That's how you think. That's how your body moves. That's how you process things." Like, for example, coming into a room and being like emotionally intelligent to understand what are the conversations that should be appropriate for this day. What are the things that are actually gonna make us move forward. One of the things like for directing is you're selling your story to 10 other people. You're telling 10 other people, give me your Saturdays and Sundays, we're going to be doing this. How do you do that? There's a way to go about it. The way I'm going to ask Hanad is far different than the way I'm going to ask you. But how do I do that? I have to understand how you think, how you move, and how you do that. That thing bleeds into your relationships, like your love relationships, right? I say love relationship, we'll talk about marriage. Okay? Your love relationship, keep it halal, brother. Right? Your love relationship, how you see your spouse and how you communicate with your spouse, understanding how do they process information and how do they give out information.
Basically, every person is different, and you have to curate the way you act to each person.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you don't want to make it seem like a job. You want to be the nigga that's processing shit. You know the guy that says, I peep shit. Never want to be that guy. Right?
I peep shit.
Why you peeping shit?
Don't let them know your next move. Yeah. And then it's the feet moving pointed this way, that way. Sahib, get a job. Security, everybody knows your next move. Shift 10 p.m. area
exactly.
It's a lifestyle we've all been through. It's okay, but stop posting. Don't let them know your next.
There's so many niggas right now that just unfollowed our page now.
But it's very fascinating, that aspect. For example, when you guys are making, like, one thing I really find fascinating, there's a level of gratification you guys feel when you're on stage and you know you're hitting the right tones.
Yeah.
But it's a pendulum swing, right? You push the pendulum swing one time. The second time it comes, you just touch it just a little bit. But that little bit comes back with a bigger force. Yeah. But when you guys do the initial force and you know the audience is reacting, and you hit another just a little bit, the reaction gets bigger.
Yeah. It's like being a comedian.
Exactly. No, not only that, you're a composer. Yeah. Right? You're Ennio Morricone composing things, and you know, bro, you deep down know I am controlling the room. I'm controlling people's thoughts, feelings,
Audience is
and
your
attention. You have people's attention, bro. It's like the greatest, that's the greatest finances. Is actually not money, it's attention. Attention is what drives that aspect. And that's why I find human about fascination. Human people.
That's why I like kicking with you, because I just feel just so dumb.
Do you know what taught me that? What you just said right now, I learned it from movies.
Which one?
The fact that you have to, what he said, the fact that you have to realize first that every single person is different, right? And that you have to curate the way you act and your way you approach them to convince them of certain things. Do you know? I literally learned that from watching movies. I'm gonna give you an example. The montages where they collect all the teammates. Ocean's 11, Ocean's 7, all the Ocean's movies. What do? The nigga goes out and he goes and he collects the niggas that he needs for the team, right? And every single nigga is what? It's different.
Yeah.
Every single nigga acts a certain way. And what does this nigga do? He approaches them in their environment. For example, that's one thing. The Art of War. It kind of talks about the book the Art of War. But you approach people in their environment. So like, there's a guy who's a burglar. He needs him so he can break into the safe that he wants to get to, right? So he finds this nigga in the act. He helps him. He makes sure he has a favor for him, but he knows, this nigga's not a trustworthy man. He doesn't trust people easily. So he gives him a failsafe. Every burglar has a failsafe. He says, listen, at the end of the day, if I double cross you, you can do this. And you'll get yours at the end of the day. This is the failsafe. Here's $2 million cash right now, failsafe. The nigga's gonna go, okay, bet. There's another guy who's a con artist. He goes to him. That nigga also has trust issues, but in a different way type shit.
Wow.
So ala kul hal, he goes to every single nigga. He curates his approach. He goes to another nigga who's a big boss. He strokes his ego. Oh yeah, man, I really need you. I'm dying without you. But Benway, he just needs his cars so he can look famous and rich when he gets to the casino. The guy's like, okay, go ahead. When I was a kid, I used to watch that shit and I used to be like, okay, bet. So why won't I do the same thing? What's the difference between movies and real life? Nothing.
Do you know who do you do that naturally, bro? Who do that innately, naturally happens?
Scammers?
No.
Yeah, that's
No, I'm talking about on a humanity aspect, that they actually care. Women do that naturally. Like,
you just got us canceled.
No, that's a good
thing. They
that's
naturally understand every person's emotion.
They cater to us so they can get what they want.
No,
let them finish. You're being very Charlemagne right now, okay?
Peter, in terms of like, so this is why they say like women are far more emotionally intelligent than guys, and it's not even close. Women can read a room far better. The only reason I'm able to read a room, I'm not even to that level capability, it's because I'm forcing myself to do that. Okay, but it's an innate thing for them. That's why the most important parenting role is a mother, followed by the father. The mother is the core aspect of understanding how her kid functions, how he understands things, how does he accept emotion, how do you discipline him. A mother will do that far better at a far efficient rate, because it's an innate ability that God made it possible for them, and they do that naturally. And it's so interesting that there's a whole school of thought predicated on that to teach guys like us, average Joes that are just walking the streets of Minneapolis, but it's so innate natural for women. And it's something I find fascinating. My younger sister is far more emotionally intelligent than I am, than I could ever be. And someone tells me God doesn't exist. But right? It's an innate thing.
Like, this is definitely gonna be a clip.
Yeah.
Every single time you said we're gonna just put them together.
Yeah,
but that's gonna take a lot of editing, my friend.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not gonna promise.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. No, it's okay, bro. It's if you're able to.
Mado.
Yeah, it's so amazing. And like, I'll tell you something else, right? In terms of like how humans function, right? It's in media portrays things that are strong, weak, things that are weak, strong. What's true is false, what's false is true. That's one of the sides of Qiyamah, by the way.
Opposites.
People actually get a leader who's a false leader, and they actually don't call me on that. But it's somewhere along those lines.
They'll take the liar for the
Truth.
person who's telling the
Truth, and
they'll take the guy who's telling the truth as a liar.
There you go. Yeah, something I like. It's like the roles are reversed and stuff like that. That's how this world is. Like, one of the things that people do is like they portray women as weak. Like the Western aspects, Western media in general portray the core, what holds a family together.
What holds the world together.
Yeah. Let me a mother holds the world together. But let me come back to this tangent, okay? I have like 30 ideas, bro. So the core values, where does Abalka I have so many ideas, bro. I don't know where to start. But let me come back to it. Nourishment starts from home. Understanding of family basis, core values, you as a person, humanity, how you're a good person, all that stuff you're taught at home. Charity begins at home. Now you take that thing, now who teaches you that? Who do you spend most of your time with? Your mother. Your mother nourishes that out of you. Now that aspect is taken and you go to the world and you conquer the world, whatever that you think that you're doing. But that is a very important role to society. Being a mother is not a job. It's not any of that. It's a lifestyle. But that lifestyle has been deemed to be what?
Weak.
To be weak.
Less than.
Exactly. To be less than the actual average. Like let's say we can have a woman that's actually struggling with 2 different jobs, is more looked more to be a far better, stronger woman than somebody that's actually holding their family intact. Which is the core values of what makes a society function for what it is. I'm not saying that's your only job to be a mother, stay at home. It's not. But the fact that your lifestyle is you're nourishing a life doesn't get enough credit. Even if you're doing jobs A, B, and C, but that itself is not even clapped upon, but rather you're being told, yo, you're weak. Why is that? Now the question starts, why? Now, you and I, all of us are core. We're not from America. I'm from Somalia. I was actually born in Somalia, right? I'm not from here. So America is a place that actually promotes productivity, efficiency, and everything. Forget what's happening. I need product A, B, C, and D done at this specific date, so this customer can get that, so we can get these profits, so the profits goes to the 1%ers, and then that's a cycle.
Fucking capitalism.
Exact capitalism at its finest, right? So in that way, how do you do that, bro? How do you actually get that product done at that specific time? What do? You go to homes and you break the homes apart. When you break homes apart, that means you're creating division within a specific community. When you create a division in a specific community, that person, when he's by himself, he needs to work constantly to even breathe in a day-to-day in American life. So what does that do? That person goes to a big corporation, he does that. The mother is struggling with the child or by herself, and she's doing all that stuff because why? America is promoting what? Promoting efficiency. I don't care how I get the shit done, but I want it done. So in that aspect, the family's broken. And how are families broken? They attack the mother. They attack the mother in every single media, every single media aspect you think about it. Every movie that you see a single mother doing 30 jobs, and that's clearly struggling, but they put that as strong. Is that woman strong? Absolutely. Is the thing that she's going through, is that natural? It's not natural. But when you break people apart, divide and conquer, people all have to fend for themselves, so they all get jobs at different corporations, so they can actually have a day-to-day life, that they can actually wake up, eat cereal, and go back to the same job. But that's affecting the household nature of it. So now I'm coming back to the aspect of like motherhood. Motherhood is the necessity of everything, bro. The Quran actually tells you your mother has 3 rights upon you, for your father has 1. Because the mother is literally the core value of what you're doing. Now, when somebody who's gone, their mother passed away, that's like one of the things, like one of the major punishments, if I'm not wrong, is stealing from Agon. Like when I say Agon, it's like somebody's like parents have passed away, an orphan, right? It's stealing stuff from them because it's a sensitive thing, man, because that person has nobody fending for them. And I want to come back again to the tune where the core value begins with the mother. That's why you're supposed to respect your mother. The deen literally tells you this, bro. This is like so important. The deen literally tells you the Jannah is between your mother's feet, right? Be kind to your mother. Quran literally says after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet, comes your walid. And your walid, the order comes to your mother, is so valued and so high because the deen understands, the deen only promotes things that are actually good for you. By the way, only thing the deen does, it does tells you things that are good for you. Do you know why it tells you the things that are good for you? Because God created you so he understands what's good for you. He's prescribing you to do specific things, like the aspects of prayer, for example. Why do you pray 5 times a day? What? Let me rephrase that. Does God need?
No, he doesn't.
Does God need worship?
No.
No. Is he gonna increase him in status?
No.
Is it gonna decrease him in status? Absolutely not. But prayer is good for us. We pray 5 times a day. Those 5 times a day when you pray, it makes you conscious of your time, first of all. You understand. You have a reference of like, yo, I did a specific job between Asr and Maghrib because I prayed that Asr I took a day.
Yeah.
That's just minuscule. The second thing that he does for your prayer, you look at it, you're God conscious at all times. You start your day with salat. But between salat and dhuhr, you might have forgotten, like, you remember God, you go pray. Between dhuhr and asr, what happens? You're God conscious. Now you think about your wudu. So
your cleanliness.
Your cleanliness. Like if you think about, okay, you have wudu, so I'm not gonna be touching the opposite sex. I'm not gonna be. If you want to use the bathroom, you use the bathroom.
Yeah. You gotta think about your state of mind.
You gotta think about your state of cleanliness. When you go to the bathroom, you gotta wash yourself properly because you have to understand salat is coming afterwards.
Your state of mind as well, because you have to be aware.
You have to be aware. You have to be at the moment and understand what you're actually doing. Now that affects on your whole day aspect of it. The deen promotes only that. So the deen is telling you, do all these beneficial things. Do you know why, bro? The gratification you get from helping your own mother is a gratification you'll never get from anywhere else. Because today, let's think about it. This is even much more fascinating. If I see an older lady today, right? There's nobody there watching me except God. I go kick the dog shit out of that lady. I can. So I do it. What happens when I do right afterwards? I feel terrible. That's your body telling you, do not do that. But if I go help an old lady with the bags and give her money and take her to her house and arrange everything for her, I'm not getting anything, but I'm feeling good. And that's your body telling you, do more of that. And somebody tells me God doesn't exist. Yeah. Morality is deep down within you. Yeah. The deen tells you, like, God only cares for you in that aspect of it, right? We did a complete shift, but God only cares aspects for like promoting good things for yourself. Yeah. Be conscious of your time. The whole thing I want to come back is like motherhood. Like mothers are not actually shown enough attention. They're not the fact that they're actually making a house run. That's not the only thing they do. But the fact that they're actually doing that doesn't get enough praise, but rather is looked down upon. And I want to give credit to the mothers today. That's why I want to hold that tangent. Yeah. Yeah.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie is the Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Why?
Because that movie just makes my heart. Secret Life of Walter Mitty is why I longboard, is why I do photos, is why I enjoy sunsets, is why I enjoy animals, is why I enjoy gradients of the sky, is why I enjoy color grading, is why I enjoy films, is why I enjoy daydreaming. It's because of that. One of the most heartwarming film. I watch that movie every Thanksgiving, bro.
With the family? Or just
every my brother, yeah. Whoever's right next to me, I watch with them. Yeah, it's such an amazing.
Oh, this is the one about the guy who works. Who
daydreams?
He works like marketing or something like that.
Yeah, he works for like a magazine. Yeah,
and then they send him to like take the greatest picture of all time or something like that, and then
he loses a roll of film for a specific area. Yeah, and then he goes on like whole journey, and he likes this girl, and he daydreams, and his daydreams, you actually see his daydreams, and they're like fascinating.
It's that one guy who's the main character.
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller, yeah. What's your favorite movie of all time? Hamza, the other Hamza. Damn, I'm with two Hamzas today.
There's been a lot of Hamzas on my podcast lately. There's another Hamza previously.
I don't think I have a favorite movie of all time. Interstellar's up there.
Interstellar's up there.
Why Interstellar?
No, I said it's mind bending. I love.
Is it weird that I can't rewatch movies?
It's not, but I'm the opposite. I hate watching new movies.
But don't
I'd rather
you
watch something I watched before, over and over and over.
But you know what directors do though? Like I've seen do intention. They make their movies rewatchable. They add a rewatchable quality to it.
Interstellar is probably the most rewatchable movie.
Nolan, every film of Nolan you're gonna rewatch, and every time you rewatch, you get something out of it. But the director understands that people gonna rewatch my things because they have access to it. They can rewatch it anytime that they want. So I make it more complex. The thing that you didn't see the first time, the plot is revealed to you. Now you're gonna go back, like when you watch Shutter Island. Spoiler alert! When you understand that this guy was actually meant to patient, now you actually get to see, oh, that's why he didn't have a gun at the beginning, because he's actually a patient and it's an experiment.
But like that's.
But we can have an entire conversation about Shutter Island.
Literally.
Wait, that idea that like, look, now that you know that he was that kind of patient, right? Seeing those things happen prior, like rewatching it again, will ruin the aha at the end for me.
No, it won't, because at the end, you don't really know the beauty of Nolan films is at the end. It doesn't have a cemented concrete
You watch
end.
the same film again.
At the end of
you think you know the plot, you could see like something else.
Yeah, at the end of the Batman movies.
Watching the wrong movie.
The end of the Batman movies, for example.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, at the end of one of the Batman movies, he flies off into the sunset. And then what does he do? He like takes a bomb with him or some shit, and like you're like, well, does he die? Does he not die? Is he actually in the plane? Is he not in the plane? Is he somewhere else? Did he sacrifice his life? At the end of Shutter Island, the constant thing you're thinking about is, well, is he actually a detective?
Oh, it's not black and white. It's gray.
It's not black and white. Is he actually a detective? Did he, because of the nature of the island, did he get finessed into thinking he's a mental health, he's a mental patient?
Inception.
Or is he actually
still in a dream?
Is he actually a mental patient?
Yeah, maybe I'm just watching the wrong film.
Bro, I want to see this chair. Makes me feel like a king, bro. I love this chair.
You're definitely a king.
You're a goat.
Yeah.
Have you watched damn, what's the movie called? I'm blanking on it. The movie with Matt Damon, Leo. The Matt Damon is the cop.
Departed.
The Departed.
Yeah.
The Departed. The Departed.
The Departed.
You watched The Departed?
Yeah.
With Matt Damon. I hate how they speak
I want to
about
ask you guys a question. Okay? We're far off topic from what are we doing?
There's no topic.
There's no topic. That's the beauty of it, okay? Yeah. So it's something that I've been having a thought experiment of my own, right? So I already talked. I was with Muhammad all day today. The guy is ambassador for the state. Allah Mubarak. Yeah. Come vote for me. One of the things that Muhammad did, for example, we were talking about was, like, for example, perception is everything.
Yeah.
One of the things I like to listen to Colin Coward gives you context to things. He makes you understand things from a different perspective. So that's perception, like how do you see things. One of the things I was talking about with Muhammad was, for example, how everything that you know today has been taught to you. Every feeling that you have has been taught to you. Humans are, I'll give you, this is like something I found very fascinating. Humans are born with two fears. Everything else is taught to you. Somebody taught you that. The innate fear, I'm not saying like there's other ones that actually happen. I'm not making this an absolute statement. But the two fears that you're born with is loud noises and heights. That's something that you're actually born with. Everything else all about it. Why are people afraid of the dark, bro? Because somebody's taught them, if you take a little kid and I use it as an experiment, lock him in a dark room, the kid is just going vibe. But go yell at a kid, what does he do? He goes like, take a kid and put him on top of a refrigerator, what does his legs do? He starts to shake, right? Because everything has been taught to you. So now that's the base of my argument. Come back to the aspect of like, today if I go to like a household, a nuclear family household that's in Minneapolis, first generation, I go to them in America, and I go ask them, and the person or the girl is, the guy or the girl are like probably like 22, okay? And I ask that person, I say, yo, describe the love life of your family, of your mother and dad to me, okay? They will describe this as of like my mom and dad, they don't physically show affection, but they are aware of each other. They're aware of their health, they're aware of all that stuff. And if you ask them, is that love to you? They say no. And you say, why? Because they're not physically showing it. There's no affection there. Now, you take that thing, for every repeatable problem, there's a repeatable solution. The same it's not a problem, I'm just going to call it a problem because I don't know, for lack of a better word. You ask that to another 10 different nuclear families, they tend to have the same answer. Yes or no? Mm-hmm. My family is like that. Now, you go to Africa right now, and you see majority of the people, that's how they showcase love. Literally. You don't see physical affection. You don't see like actual buying flowers, all that stuff. But to them, those people, that's how you're supposed to be showing love. And when they see a Western form of love, which is like words of act of service, words of they'd be like, something is wrong with them. Right? Because it's two different worlds that are colliding.
Yeah.
But my question is, which is the real form?
Neither of them.
Why?
I'm not neither of them. Both of them.
Neither of them?
No, I meant both of them.
I don't know.
I'm saying neither of them is the real
because
form.
That one has been taught to you.
Like
the same way that us Western, like the Western cultures taught us this specific way to form life. We all make when it's an anniversary, go get this gift and all this stuff. But the people in Somalia are actually taught, like on a day-to-day basis, like you are aware of your baraka, your words of affirmations are there, stuff like that. But that's what they're taught. So meaning that from that point of view, that's how they see it. Perception is everything. It's like when he told me, when he said, Muhammad told me this, like the Mayans had thought of dragons, the Chinese thought of dragons, the Africans thought of dragons, the Americans thought of dragons, everybody's thought of dragons, but nobody talked about it. Mm-hmm. All of them came to the conclusion,
there's some sort of lizard up there.
Lizard up there going around.
And
like
there's one or two things. Either dragons actually fucking existed, and everybody was seeing these things flying around in the sky, or
people think the same.
Like you were saying in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
There's a limitation to our imagination, and and because we run into that roadblock, we start telling the same stories over and over again. It's the same reason that The Lion King and Hamlet or Hamilton or whatever, Hamlet by Shakespeare, is the same shit. It's the same exact story. It's just lions doing it.
I heard the conspiracy is that
it's not conspiracy. There's 7 stories.
Bro, there's 31 ways to tell a story.
Yeah,
and you can never go out. There's no 32.
Yeah. Like
every
Shrek,
story you tell forms a 31.
And Romeo and Juliet, same shit. If you deeply really think about it, it's the same shit. It's 2 different people who are from 2 different places.
Is there original?
Every love story is like that. Who are not supposed to be with each other, and they end up with each other.
I'm gonna take you to a far part.
Yeah.
Bro, this is
Titanic and Romeo and Juliet. It's the same. It's the same thing.
Because there's 31 ways to tell a story. Every story you've ever heard of falls in 31 categories. I don't know off the top of my head, but they fall into 31 ways of telling a story. 31 or something. But I know it's like 30 something. Mm-hmm. There's no 32. There's no 33. There's 31 ways of telling a story. So that means if for some reason God ordains you or blesses you with the 32nd way of storytelling, you are gonna sell tickets, bro. Because everything else falls under that specific thing. That's why people perfect one.
Why does that happen though?
Because we have a captive imagination. We think like
we have a cap to what? Also,
so wait, what
the range of emotions we can feel.
Exactly.
There's a cap to the range of emotions we can feel, right?
Well, think about
because there's a cap to the range of emotions we can feel. The thing that he was saying earlier of there's this kind of loving and there's that kind of loving. People who have never experienced that kind of loving will still know, hey, this is some sort of loving, but it's wrong.
Yeah,
I don't do that.
Or did I ask the question?
This. But he said
that's why I'm answering. That's why that was the answer to my question. The answer to your question is they're both right. It's just about perception. They perceive these people as wrong, just like these people perceive that thing as wrong. But at the end of the day, the only thing they're arguing is semantics. It's not the idea of love. Everybody, whether you like it or not, believes in the idea of love.
Is natural.
Love is there. Love is natural. Love exists.
And you know what's the best part?
But they're both real.
Marketing, okay? When something is not tangible, meaning it's not able to be measured, you can bullshit it.
Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
So here is it. So,
February
meaning,
14th.
like for example, the idea for like love cannot be measured because it's not tangible. We can't measure the amount of love that you have somebody. You can bullshit about it. If you're talking to a girl, no, we're not promoting haram stuff. If a friend of yours, you'll say, yo, I love you, bro, for the sake of God, but you don't because he's beneficial to you on a day-to-day basis, you're going to say that. But who knows if you're telling the truth or not? Only you and God know. God and you know, right? In the right order. So here comes the aspect of it. For example, marketing comes to you, says, hey, come buy the specific thing because it's going to make that person feel good. It's like the idea of Mad Men, which I talked to Muhammad about earlier, which was Mad Men, there's a script, but this is the epitome of amazing writing. Mad Men goes to this one lady, right? She's like a boss of a specific company, but he's an ad agency, he's an admin, right? He made her mad, yada yada. He's told, yo, go apologize. So what does he do? He goes up to the girl and he says, yo, I'm here, I'm here to apologize, yada yada yada. And he asks the question. This show is predicated on the early like 70s, late 80s. He goes up to her and he says, hey, let me ask you a question. He says, do you have any kids? Yeah, no. And he asks the girl, he says, are you married? She says, no. And he says, do you mind if I ask you why not? Right? And he says, I'm not married because I'm not in love. Okay? And Donald Draper takes a cigarette, he puts it down, cinematic sequence. He says, she's not married because she's not in love. He says, let me ask you a question. Is it because you're not feeling that rainbow feeling, or that he describes like the actual goosebumps, all that stuff? She says, no. He says, do you know why you don't feel that? It's because feelings like that are made by guys like me who wear suits so they can sell you lingerie. Amazing writing, right?
Hell yeah.
So I don't know why I went to this tangent, but it's the idea of like you can sell it now because it's not tangible. You can sell it in any way that you want. That's everything though. If you cannot measure it, you can bullshit it and you can make money out of it.
But I disagree with him.
I in a way agree with him. In a way, like there's some things that are like just.
What did he say? He said guys like him wear suits
so they can sell you lingerie
and make up feelings like that to sell you lingerie.
Yeah. along those lines.
I think what they actually do is guys like him capture feelings like that in a bottle and finesse it and move it around in a way.
It's like
yeah,
buy it right here.
Goosebumps, getting goosebumps because you see something and you're like, nah, bro, nobody makes that up.
No,
that's a real thing. That's.
How about this? Let me rephrase it. Let me explain his phrasing.
But it's like
he's
you
saying
don't make it up. But like, let's just say like when you're a kid, right, and you saw an ice cream truck.
You create the interpretation for it.
Look,
basically.
you see an ice cream truck, right?
Yeah.
They made that certain noise, right? As a kid, when you're in the crib and you heard that noise going down your street, you had a certain emotion.
Yeah.
He created that emotion based off like.
No, he didn't create the emotion.
No,
he
but
created the thing that caused the emotion.
But he caused it, right?
Yeah.
So that causing of it made him cash. So he knows when to invoke that emotion.
Facts.
That invoking of the emotion is what marketing is.
That's true, but he's.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm
they're
interpreting is
saying-
he's acting like he's the creator of that emotion. He's not.
it's not that he's a creative emotion. He's saying all those emotions come together for one specific hurrah moment. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It comes at different times. Different emotions come at different times, and they're spread out. So you're not getting one specific, all of them at
So
once.
you don't think it's
that's
like,
what love bombing is, right?
It's not like
they
in the
say on
movies.
Twitter. They say, "Girls, stay away from guys that give you love bombing, right? To give you all the attention in the world, everything in the first like 15 days, and it goes away, and you wonder what's wrong. He is the
ما
problem.
يدكش حواك غلطان. وينك غلطان.
Who love bombing?
Yeah, love bombing.
And the opposite too. Trauma dropping. Trauma. What is it called when people just come to you and they just.
let me ask you a question.
إن كان بيخبر كواس.
Ha.
أريك فلو.
I already have my own
I feel
problem.
like this man got so many stories to tell.
ما
This man-
يدري بس قال لا مركز نصانا وبحي بلا يقول عذي مركزنا إسلام تقولي عرسي homeless نقضي I think you sitting there like manage fuck enough
But this,
على الحنون.
yeah,
Was the
but
ice cream worth it though?
yeah.
yeah it
Was
was
the ice cream date worth it?
ice cream
Like,
If you
know how,
like
you're
to an
sitting
ice
there
cream,
and
yeah.
it's like the person's just telling you all the traumatic experiences they've been to, so that they can make a bond with you.
yeah
And you're eating ice cream, so you're like, damn, this is.
no because
is
it
a little
ruins
heavy.
the ice cream it's not
That's what I
worth
was
it.
asking
It makes
you.
this ice cream melt. You're just
Wallahi.
like, yeah.
I think the way I'm feeling affects everything. It affects everything. If I'm feeling shitty, the food I eat just tastes disgusting, bro. And if I feel amazing, wallahi, give me a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I'm about to be like, yo, what the fuck, bro? What kind of jelly y'all got in here, man? This shit is crack.
But does it not come to a fear? For example, like feelings, right? Okay, so I want to tie this specific, like when you feel something, you're able to market. Like for example, clothing. Clothing is a perfect example. I have to shout out to all the clothing brands in Minnesota. We're one right now, Underdog. Big shout out to Ish. People sell you things so that you can project a specific class or feeling so that other people can envy you. That's why there's a class system. Your airport is a class system. Your housing is a class system. Your equipment has a class system, right? Everything is a class system. Why? Because George Carlin is a comedian that said this. He said, there's three classes of Americans. There's the high class, middle class, and low class. The high class are there to take money from the middle class and the low class. The low class are there so that they scare the shit out of the middle class to not be like the low class. Okay? So that they make them work. Because if you're middle class, you don't want to be broke or live outside. So you go to work. So the high class gets so that everybody has a purpose there. Okay? He says it in a much more
What's
funny
the high
bit.
class's purpose?
High purpose is to steal from these two classes.
Oh.
Right? It's a pendulum. It's like a
I mean, what's the low class's purpose?
low class purpose is to scare the shit out of the middle class.
And then the middle purpose is
It's to push the economy forward.
Wow, what? Well, like capitalism. The capitalism is bitch and a half. Wallahi, billahi. I'm a socialist. Goddamn it.
So it's a class system. So that's where clothes and stuff like that come. You project a specific thing, right? So clothes. So for example, shout out to all the clothing brands, right? The clothes is like every single clothing brand is selling you clothes. Yes or no? They're selling you. I'm selling you a hoodie. Mohammed's selling you a hoodie. Hamza's selling you a hoodie. Khalid and my guy. All the 5 brands are selling hoodies. But why are people gravitating towards you, Hamza? Why?
Because I'm the shit.
It's not that of course you're the shit, okay? But it's not about because of the brand clothing anymore. When you reach a different level, when you reach a status of the Rick Owens of the world, it's not about your quality of your product. It's not.
By the way, I think his clothes are fucking ass.
But he does. Okay.
Terrible.
I want to talk about Rick Owens, right?
Rick Owens is garbage, bro.
Rick Owens
What
purposely-
I gotta look
Rick
this up.
Owens makes purposely clothes that are actually odd, and he does it on purpose. But I'll get to why he does that. Okay. What was I saying?
Why do people mix it? Why do people grab? Why do people gravitate?
But why
But like, are you serious? This is not it.
Well, and he sells
That's what I'm
out.
saying.
Rick Owens sells out.
That's just 2K, bro.
Yeah.
What you're looking at right now?
Yeah.
5K, 4K.
Yeah, he doesn't sell like.
Yeah. He's a thief. Go ahead.
He's not a thief, actually. I consider him a marketing genius. Yeah, but why are people buying? Why are people buying your clothes? Because you know why? It's not about the clothes anymore. It's what's the message behind it. What are you promoting? What is the intangible thing that I can measure that you can give?
Shout out to Sony brand.
Yeah, shout out to them. Actually, I recently followed them too. Shout out to them.
Cool.
Yeah, but what is the thing that you're selling that's intangible that I can perceive to other people and project to other people that there's no way to measure that? So what's what we say? Stop the cap. Stop the cap. But Rick Owens is selling you a hoodie. The joints right here, that's supposed to be at your shoulders, are all the way right here. Do you know why? Because he can, first of all. And second of all, he's Rick Owens. And you will buy it. You will buy jeans by Rick Owens that are tight on your crotch, wide as heck on your ankles. Do you know why? Because it says Rick Owens. You're portraying a specific kind of like a lifestyle around.
This is gonna be the $1 million question. Obviously, you probably won't have the answer because you probably wouldn't be sitting here with us. But how does someone like get to that point? Or how does someone actually do it? Where to a point where it's just like, yo, I need their stuff.
I can tell you how to do it, actually.
I'll
tell you how.
No.
Go ahead, brother.
How do I know? I'm working. You really bought your iPad.
Yeah, we were really trying to get out the.
No, I'm broke side. Fuck.
Yeah. So
we do these podcasts, bro. We just gotta figure out how to get paid, man.
One of the things we were talking about Rick Owens. You know when Dave Chappelle said Rick James, bitch.
Rick James, bitch.
But I told my friend, right? I said Rick Owens, bitch.
And they probably didn't get the reference. I always say everything that's a celebrity on the news. I always look at it. I say, who the fuck cares about what Ja Rule got to say? And people first thing I think was, who's Ja Rule? And I'm like, I don't even want to explain, bro. It ruins the joke.
What a dope.
That's true though. Who cares about Ja Rule?
Earlier, Hamza. Earlier, you wanted to say something. You said we're not gonna come back to this if I go. What was that you trying to say?
Okay, so like let's really have a conversation, right?
Okay.
And let's like really talk about this, like for real, right? The idea that I feel like we've all come far, right? Mashallah, we college degrees, right? He just got his. He's working out the kinks of being a ad.
Bro, the guy's an Augsburg alum, fam.
Yeah, but like he has
the Augsburg, bro.
But like, can y'all believe like 4,
Big 5, A gang,
6, 7 generations ago, like our people are like praying for like rain.
What's up?
And like the idea that it's just crazy to me. Yo, so me and this nigga, right? Me and Hanad, I'm gonna put Hanad under the bus, right? So I've been watching. Yo, listen though, I've been watching this documentary, right? And it could be complete bullshit, but I want to have a conversation on it, right? It's the idea of like, yo, Somali history, like the actual essay, like pure, right? Only goes back so far.
Yes.
And the idea of like, yo, generations ago we believed in was it a being or a creature or wak, right?
What? By the way, I don't know if this is true or not. Do not run around quoting me.
Where did you Google this?
Muhammad Salah said that Somalis generations ago. He said it. It's true. It's factual.
I'm gonna kick your ass if you say that shit. I'm just saying that's what I heard.
What are you guys asking?
So like, it's not, the thing is I'm not asking you a question.
The reality of the situation, Hamza, is the closer me and him get together, the less shit makes sense.
So like, listen though, wak, right? Have you heard of wak before?
No.
Have you worked Ayala before?
Do you know what the word barwaq means? Barwaqo?
Yo, see, this is why this is my nigga. Do you know what barwaqo means?
Barwaq, like blessings, right?
Yeah.
From what?
What's the root word in there? Waq.
Waq, okay.
So basically, it means waq brings rain.
Okay.
Barwaqo, like the bringer of rain.
So now I'm gonna say our people, but ancient people in that area used to like dance for rain.
There are people,
and they used
bro.
to ask
okay.
wak, right, for rain, and then when it did rain, it was called barwaqo, blessings from rain, from wak. Bro, I found that highly fascinating. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just like the topic of just like, damn, I didn't know that shit was
expecting
crazy.
a question. I'm like, okay.
No, there was no question to it. It was just
No.
What do you think about that?
How do you feel knowing that?
I actually something that I counter question. The question that answers your question. Fascination.
That nigga whispered that shit.
The camera caught everything. No, like, don't you get to, like, sometimes do you guys ask yourself questions like, how did something originate?
Yeah.
Like, how did this?
Usually words.
How did this be? Right? Like, one of the things my brother always asks me is like, how has language originated from? Like, how are we able to have so many vocabs on a specific language? Not only are we doing that, we're able to do it with different languages.
You want to know a language fun fact? British people are the ones with accents, not us. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Where,
so in Great Britain, the way we speak right now is the way they used to speak. We came over here to America, not we. When I say we, I'm just saying the white,
siding with the
white Americans.
Clearly.
The white Americans, but like basically they came over here with the same accent that we're speaking right now, and they just kept that accent. Obviously, it sounded a little bit different, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a couple hundred years in between it. They didn't have ebonics and shit. They were
ambulance.
You know what I'm saying?
I just want to throw this in there, bro. Ohio is the accentless state.
What does that mean?
Ohio doesn't have an accent.
It does, bro. Anyways, let me get back
When
to
you
my
talk
point.
to somebody from Ohio, do you detect accent?
Yes.
I definitely detect the accent from Minnesota, 100%.
Yes, because oh my
Yes.
God, Hamza,
Hey.
an accent. The definition of an accent, it just means that I look at you and I think you speak differently than I do. When you look at someone from fucking the
But what I want to know is like,
the
what do we say
boonies
different?
of Texas,
Yeah.
they used to be, oh yeah, you know, partner, I'll be much obliged if you
But
go
my
on
thing
there.
is like,
You
what
look
do
at
you-
you like, damn, bro,
Okay,
speaks
what-
weird.
what-
If he looks at you from Ohio, he's like, fuck wrong with this nigga? Why does he speak like that? You have an accent.
What perks your ears and say that's weird?
Just the way you speak.
The way you
Explain
walk.
it.
Someone from Minnesota, Minneapolis, speaks different.
You guys
than
don't have an
someone
accent, bro.
up
You know
there.
that, right?
What do you mean? Me and you sound the same right now.
There is no
The
difference.
state of Minnesota. That's what I mean.
Oh
like,
yeah,
nigga.
because people from up north in Minnesota, we speak like this.
Stereotypes.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
what you want to know?
Okay, Ohio, man, how do they speak? They're the
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure if I
No,
go to
they
like,
have an
if I
accent.
go to like
Oh,
the
it's-
outskirts of Ohio, oh
it's
yeah,
definitely an
but I'm
accent.
not
We don't have that.
Because
We don't have
everybody in Boston doesn't speak like that. Coffee, they don't. That's just the accent for Boston. But niggas speak normal.
He's mad. Like
Everybody
he's really,
from-
like
'Cause
he's
it's
really
wrong.
mad.
It's not
wrong.
saying
It's
is
true.
wrong.
It's true.
Bro,
Bro,
Ohio
it's
has
really
an
mad.
accent.
What is the accent?
I don't know what it is, but it is.
You're trying to tell me in an era, right, where you consume so much content and so many different types of people on your social media, you would have already found one by now. Yes or no?
How
From what?
about that?
Go ahead. You're not gonna. It's like the accent thing. We're the
Does
close in terms of pronunciations. To the
Ohio
dictionary, Ohio is the closest in America.
Have an,
Is that like? Is this an actual?
It's actual.
factual
I'm
thing?
not even making this up.
does the Ohio have an accent?
Remember how it,
in
like,
broad
started
terms,
this conversation?
Ohio has 3 distinct accents: Midland, Inland, North, and Southern. But experts allow plenty of room for variation that are unique, even down to your town, according to Catherine Campbell-Kibler, as an Ohio State University linguistic professor who specializes in Ohio accents.
Hey,
That's
Isn't
facts.
Google a bitch? Wallah?
Damn, fuck your whole shit
Because
up.
before Google time, I would have said, "Brother, you're probably white." You know, I don't have time to go down to the
prove
library.
my greater point. We live in an era where you can prove yourself right as well. Telefon ile somesin.
Yes.
Ana kusosara suk.
This is also an error. But this
Nah,
is
he's gonna
also-
search up to. It's also
Literally.
it's confirmation bias because he's gonna look up Ohio doesn't have an accent question mark, and then it's gonna give up the results. It's gonna say, yeah, Ohio is the only states out of 50 that doesn't have an accent.
So is
Blah, blah,
anyone
blah.
ever right anymore?
Yes, bro. I'm right all the time. That's how it works.
Okay.
And everybody else is wrong.
Yo, isn't Google what?
Confirmation bias. Yeah, that's how it works. It depends on how
So
you
you
search
found
things.
it already?
Yeah. Well, I actually read an
What did
article
you-
about it. It's
okay.
on PBS.
What did
Look
you
at this.
search and then what did you search? I want to see the difference. I
Oh,
want to see
I
how
said-
biased y'all searches was.
I
Let me see
said,
what you searched.
is Ohio the accentless state?
Yeah. And I
I've
searched.
listened to-
And I searched.
Does Ohio have an accent?
How
Does
many
Ohio-
accents does Ohio have?
Yeah. Exactly. It works
Bro,
that
that's
way.
a good question to Hamza.
Bias.
Is anybody telling the truth anymore? Is anything factual?
That's why my name's Hamza the Truth.
Because you always tell.
No, because I realize no one's ever really telling the truth, so it's just might as well.
Yo, you know, like the problem with only having 2 cameras. When I don't, I have ADHD, bro. It's bad. When I'm not on camera and you or him is speaking, I do fuck shit because I know, yo,
You're
I'm not talking.
yeah.
I do stupid shit like I pick my nose, act shit. I forgot me and him we all on camera. So this nigga speaking, I'm doing stupid shit. How they was so yo fam?
You gotta be aware. But yeah, man.
Though. I have a question. We have a segment on the show called "Let's Get
Oh,
Practical."
let's do it.
Hey.
right? Where we ask people practical questions and we hopefully gain knowledge from them and our viewers learn something new. So, somebody's at home watching this. Let's say 10 years ago, Hamza is watching this. And he has just an itch in the back of his head that, damn, I want to write scripts and become a filmmaker and create content, right? What would he want to hear that would give him that spark to do it?
Oh, I'll make it hypothetical because 10 years ago, I did not care about this. So
Okay, 5 years ago.
yeah. Even 5 years, I didn't care about it. But we'll make it hypothetical. The only thing that I probably would tell...
Awkward silence.
Okay, you let the nigga think.
My bad, gang.
You're pulling the Charlemagne right now.
No, watch this. He thinks deep. He thinks so deep.
Okay.
It's all right.
I would tell him to actually consume movies for what they are. Don't analyze it.
Like, and just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it. Because when you, it's like when Tarantino said, if you really love films, you cannot not make a good film if you really care about it. Meaning, if you really care about it, you will do the research. You will do the extra effort of what you're working at, the stuff like that. Because when you enjoy something, that's when you know if you actually care about it. When you care about it, you put an effort to it. So just enjoy for what it is. Which is I did that, so.
Why we're just sitting here like, damn, it's nice.
Yeah. Bro, filmmaking is the greatest form of art. Like it's for the people that are looking for hobbies and stuff like that, just give it a try. Give it a try. Think of an idea, bring it to life. You will be bad. First year, second year, even your 10th year, you will be bad. But that badness is significantly less than your first badness. That means you're showing progression. Only chase progress. Don't chase perfection because you'll never reach that. But if you chase slow progress, it's like the feeling that I get. I wish I could actually take that feeling and put it into people and see what are you gaining out of it. Because it's something that is unmatched, bro. It's a greater feeling. Come into a set, work with different people and tell your vision, and they even make it better for you, or they tweak it. Some good ideas, some terrible ideas, but you would have never heard that terrible idea if you were by yourself.
Do you have a backup plan?
Degrees, bro. That's literally my backup plan, is the degrees.
You know how amazing that sounds, though?
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm going to go live out my dream, but nigga, I got the degrees to
bro,
back
the
up.
sole reason I even did computer science is just backup. Wallah billah.
I'm not
expecting to monetize my stuff out of film. No, I'm doing it for a selfish reason. I want to wake up in the morning and go watch my film. Like, damn, that's good, bro. What's the next?
What's success, though? Like, for real, in the
I
film
don't.
industry.
So success is full, bro. You can't define that, man. Because if you define it once you attain it, then what?
All right, so then what can you say? Like, let's just say for real, you woke up one morning and you were thinking about your life.
Mm-hmm.
What would be a damn? I'm glad I did everything I wanted.
I want to. Okay, it's not success. Yeah. Tag team. I wouldn't define success truly. I wouldn't define success truly to that. It's not tangible, but I would say like the damn moment would be like, I'm making art, bro. Like I'm making things that I'm enjoyable, and I look back, not for contentment, but for nostalgia. Like that was good, but rather thinking of like, yo, I got so much better at this. Now I'm getting better at it based on the progress that I've seen. I want to be in a constant state of creation at all times. That's something I want to be obsessed. I'm not obsessed yet. I want to be obsessed with my craft to a point where there's like consumption. It's like, not consumption, like working at it, making something better, progress. Like, I actually like to mess up. I really do. Because that mess up teaches me more than actually what I've done good. And I like to like learn, bro. Actually, my greatest thing that I hope I never lose is my hunger to learn, bro. Like, I hope I never lose that. Dumb things interest me, bro. I wrote a dialogue about pistachios. You could have seen the film. I actually researched that, bro. I did not know pistachios cost so much money. But
yeah, they're dummy expensive.
They're dummy expensive, but I would have never known that.
It tastes delicious, though.
Yeah. I really think that
how do you taste?
I really think peanuts are better, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hamza, what do you think?
Honey roasted peanuts taste much better.
I also think that why do different flavored nuts taste cost different money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Why do
I like this guy a lot.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It keeps you.
That's his dialogue.
Yeah, it's my dialogue.
I'm
gonna let you read the dialogue because it's something my editor for the first
letting
time.
this man just straight up. This is your project, so he's just straight up reading it.
I'm doing
for thousands of individuals.
I'm doing subtext of subtext.
Yeah,
isn't that meta?
Yo, I hope. Yo, this guy's a finesse with words, bro.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm still shocked about the whole walk situation, but that's just me.
We can talk about it.
Niggas was dancing for rain.
That's not, but it's just like, damn.
Niggas was twerking for
Can I
rain. Cancel
ask you guys a question? Let me.
Cancel the show. It's been nice working with you, pal.
Cause look,
Why do you guys do what you guys do?
What?
Why do you guys do podcasting?
So that, honestly, for the money,
so I could be an asshole on camera. No,
like, what's the genuine reason? Why do you do it?
I do it to have like, well, I'm not gonna lie. Do you know how like passionate you are right now about just cameras, right?
Yeah.
And the idea that you broke down a camera into separate components, and you said, yo, this is the brain, right? And the lens is the eyes, right? And you broke down the lens in itself, right? And you said, yo, the lens has a prime, right? The lens has 3 different components: the prime, the focal,
The zoom, the
zoom,
telephoto.
and then what's the other one?
Telephoto.
Telephoto. Do you see how like that is in my brain right now?
Yeah.
That's why I do the podcast. The idea that, yo, like, I can listen to Hamza regardless of what and just learn from this dude that is so fascinated at a specific craft that anything he speaks of that could be really small is something huge in my eyes because it's small. Because it's like, I don't know anything to it.
That's dope. I like hearing myself speak.
Respect, man.
Yo,
Sorry,
and one more
podcast.
thing too, though. This is related to like you athletes, right?
Yeah.
This is something I learned a long time ago.
Athletes, let's go, Mohammed.
Yo, athletes.
Mohammed Kahoot, bro.
I'm alright.
But this dude also a D1 triathlon athlete.
Yeah.
I don't.
Wasn't
really?
dancing for
You didn't know
rain though.
Oh, yo, hey man.
Listen, I have.
You know how crazy
I'm
that
gonna
is?
tell you
Yo,
my
niggas is
sickness.
really dancing.
I have a sickness. My sickness is if I look at you and it makes you laugh, I want to just keep pushing buttons to see how much more can I make you
Yeah.
laugh.
He's not.
I
It's
love
not
doing
you
that.
though. It's the fact that this nigga's
Them
thunder.
niggas over there.
And this nigga, like he's not even
That's
making
how
you
I'm doing
laugh.
that. I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just, I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, these niggas are laughing. What else can I say to make these niggas laugh?
Yo, forget all this.
What's another level of
The
just out of
athlete
pocket?
thing, right? The athlete thing.
Let me set up.
When you're working out on a muscle, right, and you work on like a strong muscle, and you're working it out,
Yeah.
the gains that you get are minuscule, especially if it's already relatively strong, right?
Yeah.
But like if it's not, and it's you're like attacking a weak point, the gains you make there seem way bigger, right? In
Yep.
comparison.
You see like you made more progress.
Because you're working on your weakness, right?
Yeah.
When you have no idea what someone in another field's doing, anything they say is just huge gains.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
it's
And
because
that's why
after
the podcast.
information, Yeah.
Because just you just talking about something,
Yeah.
to you it's just like, oh, it's something small. I've never heard of it before. And why? That's honestly why I started the podcast.
And it makes it tangible and it makes it practical. So like earlier when I asked you, yo, what advice would you give someone? I know that I was in a point in my life where I was like, okay, I want to make films, but I have no clue where the fuck to start. But at least now someone is watching this and they're looking at it and they're like, oh, okay.
I can give advice to filmmakers, bro.
By all means, go
I can
ahead.
give like a million advices, bro.
Go ahead. Pull out your notebooks.
Yeah. Advice number 1, bro. If you're starting, you're gonna be trash. Understand that. Be okay with that. Second advice: understand things happen in incremental changes. Nothing will be better overnight. Advice number 3: work on your thing in terms of progress. Meaning, is your stuff getting better? And if they're not getting better, ask yourself the question on why they're not getting better. See things as a matter of fact for what they are. Number 4: watch people that are better than you. Number 5: ask questions and never be intimidated by asking questions. Number 6: actually do it. Don't just sit in a room, think of shots and think of storylines and just put in your mind because you're lying to your brain and your brain takes that as a truth at the end. So actually do it. Do not stop that. And another thing, find enjoyment in what you're doing. If you're not enjoying it, you're going to hate it. It becomes a job. When it becomes a job, you're going to be... You're not going to be producing things at the rate you're supposed to be producing. Number 4, don't chase adulations. Don't chase good jobs. Don't chase none of that stuff. Because a guy at the corner of Walmart will tell you, good job for your film. But you take that film to actual director, he's going to say, that shit is ass. It's like when Tarantino said this. He said, if you're running with 10 people and you're the fastest to 10 people, you will win every single time consistently. But if you race 10 people that are actual athletes, track runners, you will lose every time, but your time will always get better. All right? So when you see things from that perspective,
that was bars.
Yeah.
Break that down. Hold on, gang. That's legit. That's important.
And they say
If
God doesn't exist.
You know, and they say God doesn't exist.
But, yeah.
But it's wallahi, so many people are in that trap.
Yeah.
Especially in this city.
Yeah.
If you're in a race with 10 regular ass niggas,
Yeah.
you're always gonna come out first, but you're not gonna get better.
Bro, wallahi, you know what I do, fam? I look at the industry, I look what I'm in, I look at Hollywood. Wallah, I'm not lying to you. I look at Hollywood and I say, okay, you guys are at the top of the game, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do exactly things that you do. What editing softwares did you guys use? What storylines do you guys use? What camera did you guys use? And what actors, the methods do you guys use? I'm gonna use that because you're the best at the game. And when that happens, like, you don't even look left and right. Rather, there's a goal that you're trying to attain. And one last thing that I really want to point to is, one last advice I want to say is, like, the thing that you're doing, you have to be, when I say you have to be obsessed with what you're doing, bro, you really have to be obsessed with it, because obsession gives you, it gives context to what you're doing, bro. It's like, there's a different feeling of you sitting down in the middle of a room at 2 a.m. and actually writing, well, you're not getting any payoff from it, but rather your brain is dopamine. Is like, yo, what would happen if this character did this, bro? Okay, fine, let me try that. He writes, he talks, and you write the dialogue.
He's using a typewriter. He's not using like a computer. That's why his finger went up.
He's using a typewriter, exactly, to kill distractions. But the only reason I have a typewriter is one reason, bro. Because I understood, like, I'm not gonna write stuff. I'm using a computer, because when I use a computer, I have access to Safari. So it's understanding those things that.
Yo, we need 2 separate cameras, bro. I can't do this, cuz this nigga's a weirdo. Yo, go over there, bro.
What did I do? Yo, let him ask you this question. What did I do?
I'm not doing this. Yo, get us another. We need another camera.
Bro,
is this what you,
What's up with bro?
Is this what you do when you have your own camera?
Yeah, I almost call it fab.
Mahad, run it back, please. But Kinta, I'm so sorry, bro. What
did I do?
What about Cassino?
I just scratched my nose, bro.
But this nigga had a whole ass little episode.
Oh, I was cracking my neck. Lame ass nigga.
Yeah.
Chinmakami, it's okay.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? See, bro, I told you the closer we get to each other, the more crackhead energy
just
goes
had
up.
a spasm.
How we're literally touching each other. So the crackhead energy is on 140, bro. You know when Vegeta and Goku fusion, huh? One person on it.
But yeah, bro, but that's running out of words, bro. But that's that, wallahi billah.
If you're a filmmaker, if you're interested in filmmaking, wallahi, pause this,
photography
rewind.
as well, bro.
Photography, pause
You're
it,
a rapper.
rewind, and rewatch this
Stop
shit.
me.
And like, write down what this nigga is saying, because it's $1 million worth of game. Shout out to
I
Gilly.
feel like there's 2 components I really want to take out. The first one, and really have my fault, my nails are really long. But it's the idea of like, yo, just do it, right?
Just do it.
Because you said, if you don't do it, your brain is gonna.
You're gonna take that as a lie. You're lying to your brain.
And then your brain is really gonna take it as truth.
Yeah, and your brain rewards you for not going this way. He's gonna be like, "Oh, you're good. Just take it. Oh no, tomorrow you didn't punish us. Okay, don't worry. He's actually telling the truth. So stay there."
That's hard as hell. And the other thing was take everything at face value.
Yeah, take things. I want you to. Okay, when I say that, that things be what they are. Don't read into it. It's like when David Chappelle says, "Reading between the lines." Don't do that. Things are what they are. We tend to like give context to things that really don't deserve context, and analysis to things that don't really deserve analysis. And we're like, "Oh, my brain is going somewhere." No, your worst enemy is your brain, bro. It really is. Get up, go in the middle of the sun, 12 o'clock, get yourself a film camera, get yourself a roll, get yourself a group of people, put a sunshade, record, fail, put in front of a people, get battered, come right back, because that's the essence of learning. One of the things that really pisses me off about like people in general is like anytime that somebody says, hey, they tell you, oh, nobody's perfect. But anytime that you showcase imperfection in anything, yo nigga skara. But you're preaching that nothing is perfect. Is it such an oxymoron? It don't make sense.
No. And they say God doesn't exist.
Bro, one last thing to that. They say that God doesn't exist, bro. Once you think things that like, I'm gonna think from a coding perspective, but I'm putting like a non-coding perspective. Your ability to actually think this, bro, it's very, how do I say this? So complex. Your ability to, let's say I'm sitting down right now, right? I had the thought to get up, go to the fridge, grab myself water, and come right back. And my body is doing exactly what my mind said to do. Not only that, and they say that God doesn't exist. Not only that, your ability to comprehend very complex conversations, very complex ideas, implement it and make it better. And they say God doesn't exist because your mind is one of the greatest assets in the world. People hate to think. And when people hate to think, people like to just sit down and lay back. When we sit down and lay back, we say the world is ending, the world, society, yada, yada, yada. Because we have literally destroyed our brains in terms of like the ability to think. God told you, fikir, bro. Not told you, but he's giving you the capacity to actually think, bro. Make thought a day-to-day basis. Exercise that brain of yours. How do you exercise that brain of yours? By doing different things that actually comprehend that. One of the things, like for example, is actually like they say, when you read the Quran, fam, every time you read the Quran, you're learning different stories. You might see the story of like Nabi Yunus one time, well then known, right? That says you read the story one time, but the second time you read it, it's like something even greater. Because it's a subtext of the Quran is the greatest subtext I've ever seen. Now when you want to read between the lines, right? When you see that you're actually at a state of thought, we ask ourselves why the Imams of the past are actually have such high capacity of thinking. Why were they able to produce so many things? Because they kill their distractions. They try their best to kill distractions. I'm not going to say that because it's not a fact, right? So those are the things like we have to push our brains. They're like, oh my God, bro, back in the day was different. The reason back in the day was different in a happy accident way, they didn't have the internet, killing their times, going to the bathroom, you're on TikTok for like an hour and a half. They didn't have that. They used the bathroom and they got out. That literally, think about how many times are you wasting in the bathroom for using your TikTok? That's a lot of times, right? When it compounds. But we ask ourselves, what is different from then and now? The difference is the distractions in your life. Once you actually kill the distractions of your life, it's like the people that say your time flies fast. Why does time fly fast? Because you probably preoccupy yourself with things that really don't matter. And whenever you take your phone, you're going to be like, why is time not going fast, bro? Why is it so slow today? Because you felt the second, you felt the minute, you felt the hour, you felt the day. Now imagine you take that something productivity, and once you get your instant gratification should be for yourself, and that would make you do it again over tomorrow, again and again and again.
To a point where you're looking at time like, damn, can you slow down?
Exactly. Wallahi billah, it's that level. That's the level of like you care about your craft to that level that you're about to do. People say they care about the craft, but they're capping. They're telling lies, because if you really care about your craft, you'll chase progress. 2 words of somebody telling you things bad will really not get to you, and 2 people that tell you things amazing will not get you to a high. Neither will you take you to a low if you really care about your craft. Does that make sense?
I feel like people don't care about crafts as much as they care about flowers.
Yes, and that's like competition really kills you. If you get good jobs all the time, why do it? Why actually go up and do it? I mean, if that's what you want, why do it? If your money's all you seek and you get all the bread in the world, like rappers, their first album is amazing, they get a bread. Goes to shit, because that's what they really wanted.
Basically the argument, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Of like Tom Brady being great because he's going for championships, and Aaron Rodgers just settling for money and fame. Right?
Conversation for a different day, because I'm gonna get heated, bro.
Thomas
that's not
Brady
what Rodgers
Jr.
does.
He's the GOAT.
He is the GOAT.
Greatest of all time.
He's the GOAT.
And then Aaron Rodgers, like, huge step down, because like he's not really
big step down.
worried about his craft.
No, he's not.
He's worried about like Olivia. What was her name?
Yeah.
Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
And being in Game of Thrones,
girls, bro.
Jeopardy,
and hosting Jeopardy.
Well, he didn't even get it, which is sad. Imagine being not great enough. I think Tom Brady could have gotten it.
Yeah,
he would have gotten the role.
100%.
No comment. I'm not gonna sit here and listen to Aaron Rodgers slander. Fidi.
We tried.
Yeah, bro. That's the thing. Just care about what you do. Work at it. Work at it. Work at it.
But what was that one thing though? Someone was like, "Yo, first, obviously this is internet thing. So therapy, therapist, anxiety, all that are real things. But this one person was like, hey, things that can help with it, and I believe in it because it works for me. Right? Is building your muscles, right? So working out, right? Because then you're not thinking you've worked out. Building your brain, right? So your mind and working on your mind that one day. And also the third thing being, what the hell is it? It was mind, body, and soul. So taking care of something for your soul. And if you can like conquer those 3 components every single day by doing something, like anxiety tends to go down. Is that true?
I would agree. That is factual.
And another thing, like what I was gonna say, but you explained it way better. I just think one thing that will actually kill all that. First of all, that's first about this thing. What you would do is preoccupy your mind. Once you preoccupy your mind, you don't think about that. And secondly, I want to say is the thing that really people like tend to not even really care about is there's a God, bro. Okay? Everything comes down to there's a God. God is telling you there's rules and regulations. You do those things. Do you know why? If you follow these rules, your life gets better? Because God is literally giving you the instructions to life. Is telling you do this. One of the things that we don't actually do is like we don't like this is like a different tangent. Would take like an hour to explain, but we tend to expect our kids to actually understand like the deen and all that stuff, but nobody tends to give them explanation of the deen, but rather they teach them the deen. Teaching in terms of like hifd, but ما حد حفظ say. What does سبح اسم ربك الأعلى stand for? What is the story that you're trying to teach your kid? Because the kid that you actually want him to understand the deen, they tell you the Prophet was the greatest of all time. No doubt. What was he the greatest of all time at? His day-to-day lives, bro. What has he done to actually promote that? What was his day-to-day lives? How was his health? How was his diet? How was his fiqh? How was his barakah? How did he deal with his wives, his spouses, his hadith and everything? Nobody takes the time to actually teach and understand that. But that will take me like... Oh.
See, this is why we're going to have you on. Repeat it like multiple times.
Yeah. Are you free next month?
Are you free tomorrow? Actually, tomorrow we have a show, right?
Tomorrow we do have a show.
You're leaving... Hey, yo, you've blessed us for like you're coming from Ohio.
Yeah, the Ohio State, bro.
So this guy has a lot of time to think about all these things because Ohio doesn't have sidewalks. And he doesn't walk anywhere. He drives it everywhere. So that's why he has so much time to make movies.
And then when he's going to like the grocery
think
store
about
and stuff,
life,
the
because
store.
there's no sidewalks.
Sidewalks?
There's no sidewalks in Ohio.
They don't have sidewalks?
They don't have sidewalks.
Hamza's been to Ohio and he can tell you there's sidewalks.
There's no sidewalks in Ohio.
He knows there's sidewalks.
What did you say earlier? Perception is reality. My perception.
And also, what did you say?
My perception, my friend.
That's
No
a fact
comment.
that there's sidewalks.
Is Ohio?
It's not even a perception, it's a fact. But I'm going to let you have that
No
delusion
comment.
though. I'm going to let you have it. Why
No
need
comment.
sidewalks when you can drive everywhere? But go ahead.
But you guys also like have drive-through corner stores. Nigga, that's just some weird shit.
That's revolutionary.
They have what?
Like drive-through corner stores.
What?
For you, gives it to you in your car.
But
and
you know
leave.
why though? The
Why?
reason is because they don't have sidewalks.
Why do you need
They
sidewalks
can't
and gas
walk
stations?
yo,
Why would you go
welcome
to a
back
gas
to Ghost
station?
Talk.
Hold up.
Why would you go to a
You
gas
can't
station?
walk up. You cannot walk up to a gas station, to a grocery store, and anything. If you're walking on the fucking street, you can get hit by a car. Shit is
Yo,
dangerous.
yo,
So
Muhammad-
they were like, yo, we
Muhammad
don't have
is
sidewalks.
attached-
Let's make sure
Okay.
that people can stay in their cars and drive through the grocery store.
Okay.
It confirms. I've
no.
also been to Ohio, and they do have sidewalks. I'm being an asshole.
Muhammad was literally, he's willing to die on that one boat in the middle of the ocean that's drowning so that he can prove a point.
Yeah, that's the point of life for me, to be right. That's why I
yeah.
exist. That obviously before that, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
And then to cause mayhem.
Yeah.
Cause bull in this world.
I'm an agent of chaos.
Yeah.
I want to travel with you.
Really? Let's not go to like
I feel
any place that we can cause mayhem and get arrested, because we'd probably get arrested.
All right.
Why the hell is he saying we? Like,
I'm locked up.
I got
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
jail by myself in no foreign country. He's with
wait,
me.
time out. You point
I know him.
Yo, you would point me out?
Absolutely. The guy with the beard, right there. Grab him.
Yo,
Honesty.
everybody who's probably wondering,
Whatever
yo,
I did, he did too. Grab him.
hey, yo, if y'all ever wondering why we never traveled, nigga, this is why.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you.
Anyways, so inshallah, in a year's time, maybe less than that, probably less than that, most likely less than that, we're gonna have you back on the show.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Inshallah khair, if we're still kicking, right? Where do you see yourself in a year's time?
I don't know. I don't want to know. Let's keep it at that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's been Ghost Talk. Thank you so much to Hamza from the O and Hamza
the
that tells the truth. I'm Mohammed that talks a lot. See you guys next time.